Welcome to the Riot Squadcast. My name is Ed Rodriguez, and we are here on a beautiful Wednesday night in Gardena, California. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you coming and listening to us for another week. If you are listening to us live on youtube.com/Riot Squadcast, thank you for joining us. And that's where the chat happens. That's where the fire happens, Chris. That's where it's lit, as if the kids say, right?
I guess I'm here. Hello, Hi.
And that beautiful, luscious voice you hear is, of course, the beautiful, the talented, the one and only Chris Zero Cool Tucker. How you doing, sir?
I'm well. I've managed to move my microphone 4 times despite Ben asking me to stop doing it.
To stop touching it.
But besides that, I'm doing very
You're
well.
like a child, man. I'm like, don't touch it. Stop touching it, and then you just evidently just want to touch it.
Look, every young man discovers his own truth and his own beauty at his own time.
Yeah.
So I will touch what I want when I want. I'm a goddamn American. How dare you?
USA. No, we're not gonna.
No, it's not the time.
Not the time.
Sorry.
And then always we're joined by your favorite producer, my favorite producer, Producer Ben. How are you doing, sir?
You know what? That's 6 touches, by the way. He's at 6 touches now. I'm gonna be like, the counter, the person who counts the amount of ums. I'm just gonna count the amount of touches Tucker has.
Oh, please don't.
Here's one more for you. You count that one?
I
count
say
that one,
Actually,
Actually,
every other line.
You can't even see it on the screen yet.
Sorry.
You still have your.
I got my black bar.
Yeah,
we're calling it.
Exactly.
But how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. It's a good day. Good day in Squadcast land.
It is. We are having a beautiful, beautiful time here. We've been here for a little. We've gotten here early today
Got here a little
because
early.
we had a special guest.
You mind? We can talk about this, yeah?
She won't. We told her we're going to threaten her to be on mic, but we're not going to make. We're going to do that to the same.
Threaten is definitely not the word you want to use.
No?
Of all the choices of words you possibly had at your disposal, why threaten?
Well, here's the thing. That's what we use. Whenever someone's like, "Hey, I want to come and sit in the show" or whatever, we're like, we're going to make you go on the show, right?
At some point, yeah.
We're going to make you talk.
You want to say hi?
Hi.
Hi. Can you use Ben's mic? He doesn't use it.
Hi.
Hi. Who are you?
My name's Jo Kwan.
Okay. What do you do, Jo Kwan?
I'm a broadcaster. No, I'm a reporter.
Oh, I like that. Broadcaster.
I'm a reporter. I work at Spectrum News 1. I also work at KFI, AM 640.
Hey.
But I discovered you guys because me and one of our web team, awesome person, Alex Baker, we always
long time
riff.
Larzer.
Long time Larzer?
We always riff on soccer because, unfortunately, I won't even
No,
say
no, no,
the I know I'm not allowed to say the team.
No.
Don't even do it.
But
Look, we're working on her. We're working on her.
We always give each other a hard time about it. And I went to him. I said, hey, I want to do a story about this upcoming tournament in Florida. Obviously, LA Galaxy is playing that other team. How can I do a
Love it.
story?
Broadcaster.
I don't want to just go find a fan. You know what? I want to find like a unique thing that can be tied to the LA Galaxy.
That's exactly what we are.
That is what brought me to the LA Riot Squad.
I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, and it was a fun time, getting to talk about our story, basically.
What's it called? A profile? Is that what you call it?
Yeah, it's a news story,
Okay.
featuring you guys. You guys are best friends. One says this is a hobby. Another one says this is an obsession. So, just a little bit about you guys.
Or one that I call is an obsession.
As surprising as this will sound, I called it a hobby.
Yeah.
Just for the record. I just want to get that out there.
I'm just saying, this is not going to be the first time I'm being on TV, so it's, whatever.
I always assumed when our show...
I did see the tattoo.
Yeah. I always assumed when...
She's talking about my tramp
Your
stamp.
I'm not going to comment on that.
You're what is it, like a sun?
That's on my belly button.
Yeah. Jesus. It's like you're from the Valley. And I say that with all due respect to my fine Valley brothers and sisters.
Yeah, those are your people, man.
I got respect for the no. I got respect for the Valley. Look, there are still moves you can't make, even though if you like O.J. Simpson's.
I was like, wait,
he's a
where
good
are you
running
going
back. He's a good running back. He's definitely a good running back. As long as you stop any discussion about O.J. Simpson at him as a running back, you're fine. We don't need to get into what happened in the 90s. We don't need to talk about it.
The 90s didn't happen.
Even the football career in the 90s didn't happen.
Yeah.
O.J. Simpson stopped existing in 1989, and everything was fine. Everything was good. And that's how we should keep it.
I think this is the longest we've talked about OJ on the show.
Surprise! I actually don't think that's true, and it's even worse. It would definitely be worse. How's your week been, sir? How about that?
It's been crazy, man. Taking summer school classes, so things have been wrapping up, and just work every day, and then also trying not to be murdered by my wife, because we've been playing the FIFA Pro Clubs, and so the other night she had let's say an incident with a bug, and we were playing, and our cat likes to find these little friends because they're that's what they do. They're hunters, and so in the middle of us playing, all I hear is ah, and I'm like, "What's up,
Baby.
I'm not. But do I stop playing?
Defensive midfield. You can't stop
I
playing.
can't. I'm important. So I'm there with my PlayStation controller. I'm like, "What happened?" And she's
Baby.
like, I just hear her yelling, "A bug!" And I'm like, "She got it."
You cool. Which game was that of the 3?
The second one.
Okay, we won that one. You couldn't leave.
It was the
That was our 3-0 win. Yeah.
No. It was the third one.
We should explain because
the
she's
second one.
confused.
You left a bug with your wife.
You gotta get over
You
here.
gotta get close to
I
the mic.
told you were gonna talk.
You
See,
left
we got her.
bug with your wife, and you were playing what?
FIFA. We're playing PlayStation.
Okay, but couldn't you have helped her? Paused? Can you
It's
pause?
not paused.
No.
It was live.
So it's a live game.
We were
He's playing with
10 other people.
So what happens if you lose?
he's off the team.
Well,
if we lose, everything's cool.
believe me, my wife stopped talking to me for like a day and a half after this
Okay.
incident.
Was it
so
worth it?
Yeah, I mean, that was game 2, right?
She's not gonna. I hope she's not watching the video. No, absolutely wasn't, because she like scolded me and was like, "It's a damn game," and I'm like, "Yeah, but it's live. I can't stop. I can't pause."
Can I give a counter argument?
Go ahead.
It's a bug. You can't square that.
She's like,
You have a
What
driver's
kind
license.
of bug was it?
I don't know, because I didn't get up and see it.
Only a day and a half of no talking?
You got.
I was making
What
breakfast
is she-
and I was doing dishes. I was trying all my best to be like, "Hey, baby, you good? You want something else? I can make you dinner."
I never understood the world of like a man gets in trouble with his wife, so his wife basically leaves him alone, and that's a punishment. It's like, hey, your world's gonna be quiet for a day and a
so
half.
you're going to be on the couch for the next day or so probably now. If your wife hears this.
Nah, I feel like she's
But
used
see,
to this.
I'm
I feel like at this
Yeah.
point she's figured out
Yeah.
what she's gotten herself
see,
into.
I'm a people pleaser. So if I know someone's mad at me, I'm gonna like bug you to be like, "Yo, what's up? Why are you mad?"
Okay, so
Why
what did you
mad?
do, Ed? What'd you do? What'd you do to make up
Nothing.
for
I
it?
think
No,
that
to
was
make
the
up for it.
problem.
You didn't do anything to
Oh,
make up for it? Yeah.
I left her alone, and then
what'd
I
you
was
do?
like making breakfast. I was doing dishes. I was like,
But that's not enough. You can't just make breakfast and do dishes and expect everything to be
It seems like a
fine.
better
exactly.
topic.
It wasn't fine until she like was like, "We need to talk about it." I'm like, "All right, cool."
What is there to
Wait,
talk
wait.
about?
Now, did you do a heap or
Heap.
heap?
Oh, this is after. So me and my wife have a podcast. So if you want to happily ever after podcast heap, you can look it out on us, all your podcasts and anything.
Yeah, but I talk too much. You got 2 podcasts out here.
Um,
You got to share your opinion with the masses twice a week, but I talk too much.
whatever. But yeah, so she was absolutely pissed off because I didn't put down the game to go and help her. Which, to be fair, probably should have.
Yeah.
Probably should have.
You playing this weekend?
Probably.
I should have. Sorry, I should have.
She's gonna get you caught up again.
I know, right? I'm
Denise is
another
like,
2
clearly
days.
you did not learn.
Another 2 days. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there on Saturday.
It all worked out.
But that just shows your
Oh no, we're not playing this week because of the holiday.
that just shows your dedication to the team.
Loyalty. That's
Look,
why he's starting.
And she makes fun of me every time I play with the guys. She's like, "Go team! Yeah, let's go, boys!"
I think I like your wife, even though I've never met
Oh,
her.
you
She's
should.
amazing.
Yeah.
She's
Oh,
amazing.
she is.
My wife's like, oh, so you. There's always a pause. Do you notice the pause before you go to play? So it's like, oh, so you guys have practice.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Whoa, do you guys have a game? It's
Yeah.
like, why is the
Why
voice?
do you say it like that?
Why is the voice got
Why you gotta
changed?
say it like
Why
that?
does the voice change?
Yeah.
Why can't you say, oh, do you have a game? Where does the second and a half break need to come in before the word game?
I picture you like all focused, Tuck, like beforehand, like just sitting there with your controller, sitting on
Well,
the
see,
chair,
at
like,
this stage of my
focused.
life,
And your wife's like, so you got a game?
At this stage of my life,
We got the pause, but yeah,
yeah, you got to pause. The pause is real. The pause is the most important
that's
part.
the
here.
knife and then twisting
Yes,
it.
the twist is on the
yeah,
pause.
yeah.
At this stage of my life, and you know this, like I'm into my foot baths. So by the time I got a game, I just got into what is it, a pedicure? It's a pedicure? I got for Father's Day, I got an at home like foot bath. Yeah, see now back on my team, I like it. I got an at home foot bath. And so now before our FIFA game, I boil water like as hot as humanly possible. I pour it in the bucket, a little eucalyptus Epsom salt, Ed. You step your game up.
Hey man, I'm
telling
telling you, tea tree oil, dude. You got to get all that, baby.
Just enough. You know, you
Yeah.
got to measure this bad
Just a
boy
couple,
out.
you know, essential oils, bro.
You don't want it to
Just
go over the
everything.
top because then, you know, it's all about the balance.
Yeah.
Then you scrape that bad boy down. And I don't know if you know this. I'm trying to hit the public to this. Pedicure mask, Ben. Lavender. I got you. I'm gonna hook you up with one. I'm bringing you one next week. Pop it on your foot for about 20 minutes. That's a third game. So first game, soak these bad boys.
No, I think you got to probably go cheese grater on Ben's feet, man.
Oh, you gotta go cheese grater regardless.
Yeah.
At a certain stage, I've noticed for men who don't take care of your tootsies, for the dudes.
Oh, I felt bad for the ladies who worked on mine on before my wedding.
See, that was my thing. I couldn't go.
I was like, I tipped extra because I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How do
I'm
you
so
boys
sorry.
not have a pumice stone?
I do.
First,
come on, man.
First off, I got 2 pumice stones. Don't fuck around. All right, I got pumice stones for days, Ben. This is my world now. This is where I live.
And so,
Dr. Teal's Epsom salt.
okay, but you should have been using those pumice stones,
Ben,
so
but
you don't
I was,
have to.
My friend, I was blind, but
Alright,
now
fine.
I see. Who you understand?
Have you tried the little they're like socks, but they're disposable. It's
It's
one
kinda
time
like
yeah,
the
use.
it's the pedicure
Yeah,
mask. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
that's
what.
what you-
That's what.
okay.
Girl,
Oh.
I'm living there already. I'm in. I've reached a spiritual nirvana of taking care of my own feet, and I won't. Because it's disgusting. I can show you a before picture, and it's ridiculous.
thank
You just
Yeah.
met her.
No,
Yeah, don't
it's
do
the
that.
worst.
You
Yeah.
just met her.
All right, dude.
Everyone's my
dude,
best friend, they just
even
don't
with
know
somebody he's known for years,
What?
I wouldn't show that picture.
Oh,
to.
he didn't hesitate to be like, Ed, look at my
I know.
feet.
Hey, look at my feet.
Dude,
And I went,
that's
cool,
what you
man.
Yeah, do you want-
He's like
It's like
holding.
cool.
He's like holding them next to each other.
Cool.
Why?
I sleep with the phone like next to me, dude. I don't wake up to that stuff,
At this
man.
at this point,
Jason.
at this point, what secrets are there between you and me?
Not many.
I mean, come on, let's be real. Let's be real. As always, she just noticed the flip flops. I mean, that's why I have to.
That's so you're showing them off, right?
No, like I have tan
No,
lines
because
for
I was
flip
gonna
flops.
say
Like
your
I
feet
always,
look very moisturized.
bro. I'm saying,
Oh, I don't even let my wife look at my feet. I'd be like, nah.
Ed. Everyone sees him now. I'm getting ready to start an OnlyFans. Nothing but feet. Nothing but feet, man.
You could be like those people who like smash food and get paid for that.
Who's
stuff.
into size 14, wide, flat, black dude feet?
There's a market. There's
Seven-
got to be a market.
There's a market.
There
I
always
guarantee.
gotta
I
be a
guarantee
market.
you, there's a
The
market.
internet.
It's the world we live
I'm
in.
ready to
man.
retire. I'm done.
Don't kink shame, Ben. All right, don't
Yeah.
kink shame, bro.
I need enough money for hot water and eucalyptus Epsom salt and pedicure mask, and I'm good.
Would it be amazing if like Epsom like sponsored your videos?
I want them. I'm trying to get to a point where they
And be like
sponsor this show.
size 14 flat black man foot sponsored by Epsom salt.
I would be. I like to think Epsom salt would be like, hey, can you not call them flat black man feet?
Can you stop using our product? Please tape over the
Please,
name of
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Please,
it's
we
too
just don't
much.
want you.
It's too far.
Stop, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, this was about pro clubs. This
Yes.
started with you ignoring your wife's calls to help with the bug, and concluded on, I'm not gonna lie, man, the beauty of my feet, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the work I'm putting in.
Hey man, do work, man. You gotta take care of your piggies, dude.
Somebody's got to,
gotta
and
take care of them.
I wouldn't let my wife touch them. So
No.
I gotta square it out myself.
I barely let the professionals touch them, and I was like, you know what?
So I couldn't do
I'm
that.
going to Mexico in like a week after the wedding, so I'm like, look, I got to get them done.
I couldn't let another human being touch my.
No,
It's too much. It's
It was-
too much.
It was
It's
a
too
one-time
private.
thing. So
It's
I
too
was like-
private. It's
But
too
see,
personal.
when you get the pedicures at like the places, they get you like the massage, dude. It's the works, bro. You got to do that.
Nah, I don't need people touching me. It's too much.
You got it, man. You got to.
No.
Anyway, should we talk about soccer? Or we move away from the feet.
I'm down to inevitably discuss some soccer.
We'll
yeah.
discuss some soccer.
Yeah. We'll get feet's on the Patreon. Feet's on the OnlyFans and the
Yeah,
Patreon.
on the OnlyFans. We're gonna start an OnlyFans, so so you can help us out even more.
And again, I'll do all the work apparently. So
Well, it's orgasmic. That's just how we work, dude. It's just how we work. All right. If you want to talk about it, let's get out the way. We talk a little bit about USL real quick. USL just announced that they're going to have like a group stage before, so they're coming back July 11th. The Galaxy 2 they've been set in Group B, and they're going to be playing against the Las Vegas Lights, Orange County SC, Phoenix Rising, and San Diego Loyal. So if you pay attention to USL, your G2 are back. So soccer's coming back. It's coming back, and it's fast and furious, Tuck. It's fast and furious. Too fast, too furious, some might say.
good call.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So if you're into it, go check it out. They're coming back. The league's going to start coming back to play July 11th. So support the boys.
My birthday.
There you go. I know.
My birthday. Cheap plug.
Are you sad there's not going to be a 7-Eleven day?
Immediately looked. Oh, there's not?
No,
I never go to those.
The first time in like 20 years or something like that?
Because those lines would be ridiculous.
Well, yeah, I know. So people are touching like the dispenser and everything.
I thought you were going to say, were you saddened that the Galaxy don't play on the 11th? I was praying when they were like, coming back July 11th. It's like, Galaxy 2 game. More exciting for me than a first team Galaxy game. And I think we don't play till, I want to say the 18th.
Yeah,
I know it's late. We play really, really late, but yeah, it's what it is.
So check it out. USL is back. Galaxy 2 in Group B. Go check it out. That should be more news coming quickly. I know the Galaxy just signed a couple of players from Galaxy 2.
Mm-hmm.
So first player that they announced was, and I'm probably going to butcher the name.
Just run with it. You got it.
Kai Koreniuk.
I think Koreniuk is correct, yeah.
Probably one of the best players from G2 to come out.
Mm-hmm.
So I know he played. I know they brought him up a little bit at the end of last year.
He was G2 Player of the Year last year, apparently.
G2 Player of the Year. Not saying much. The Galaxy 2 were not great last year. They were probably like mid-table for the Western Conference. But I know he's really good friends with our backup striker, your boy.
Did you forget his name?
I did forget his name.
Sorry.
I was looking.
Your bay.
I know. I was looking at Chris.
Muted. I was muted, and I was like, I don't want to cut him off.
I was looking at Chris directly in the eye. I'm like, you got to help me out.
Here. Ethan
Zubak. Sorry.
His jersey's right on top of that pile there.
I know he's really big, like boys with Ethan Zubak. Mm-hmm. So, I know they played a little bit in G2 too. So in G2 too.
G2 as well.
Do
you want to discuss both G2 players and then go breaking down individually, or you want to do?
Yeah, we'll talk about both.
Okay.
So Kai Koreniuk is a midfielder. We're just loading him in. We need wingers.
Mm-hmm.
Koreniuk signs with the Galaxy after joining G2 prior to the 2019 USL Championship season. He made 28 appearances and scored 9 goals for G2. He also appeared for the first team via loan in July in 2019. He played against Club TJ in the what was it, the Leagues Cup or whatever it was, yeah. And he got an assist in the game, so there you go. Great with his feet, like in the box. He's pretty clinical, so I think it's a great addition.
If you watch a lot of Galaxy 2 games, he is, I think without question, last season was fair to say he was the best player. Yeah. Of the people that you could potentially bring up and people who are even close to being ready to graduate to the next level, it was Kai. Mm-hmm. I'm hopeful for him because he's a very talented player and he's going to give us some wing depth. And in all honesty, I'm hoping he starts over on the right wing. He played right wing I think just a couple times last year for G2, but it's shown that he can do it. He can play attacking midfield if that's necessary, and it's very necessary. Although he's predominantly a left winger, the benefit to that is if you need to move Pavone around, you can flip. You can in theory flip Pavone over to the right.
And I think one of his great talents is that late run in the box.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
and a good foot.
Yeah, you see a lot of his goals in G2. It's been like late runs in the box, or he gives up those good runs in the back post, which with having a single striker, you're going to need that.
Mm-hmm. You need anyone to and the hypothetical is saying he's starting or he's playing. You need anyone who is going to be mobile enough to move bodies off of Hernandez, and that's it. You move bodies off of Hernandez, you move a defender off of him. He can't keep running around with 3 people on him. You pull 1 or 2 guys from him and get him the ball, and he's going to be able to work. If you allow it to be a situation where he's surrounded by 3-4 guys, that's how you end up with 1 shot. That's how you end up with no shots or 0 goals. You know what I mean? I hope he gets a chance to start. I genuinely do. I hope they actually allow him to start rather than bringing somebody. It looks like we're not bringing anybody in. Well, the rules came down. We're definitely not bringing anybody in.
And that's the thing is there's some other news we're going to talk about later that maybe he will be starting because we might be light on bodies.
He's going to be high on the list. He's going to be high on the list as potentially available. I hope it works out. For your random bit of Galaxy factoids, Kai Koreniuk is the 286th Galaxy player, at least by my list. If you think you're right and you got a more extensive list than me, got to have at least 288. Then I'm more than willing to hear about it. But by my count, he's our 100th midfielder. The more you know, our 6th player from Florida, and he is the 11th number 28 in Galaxy history.
Wow. And so we also we loaned a player from a loan from a team from Panama.
Panama.
I'm still trying to figure out.
Panama.
And Chris has explained it to me, but I'm still confused. How we can loan a player from a team that loaned him from another team.
It's as best I can understand. It's
and we're talking about G2 or Galaxy have loaned Carlos Harvey from LA Galaxy 2, which was a loan from Tower FC from Panama.
I don't know what Ben's doing. Okay, I thought he was going to point at me. He was just taking his time. Carlos Harvey, 20-year-old CDM from
Panama.
From Panama. Originally from is it Taro FC?
I'm gonna go with that.
Sure, good enough. Was loaned to G2 and is now loaned up to G1. This is I don't know. I don't definitively know. I haven't asked anyone. I don't really care if I'm honest. As best I can understand it, I'm sure Tower FC loaned him to the organization of the Galaxy. And there are those weird MLS rules and US Soccer Federation rules. There's those strange US Soccer Federation rules that are allowing MLS teams to run and operate USL teams. And they said, if you remember, they said it when it first came out. Look, there's going to be a lot of weird ass rules and a lot of shit that doesn't really make sense. And a lot of instances where we kind of got to figure it out as we go along. And some people are going to think it's a setup. Some people are going to think, it's being designed to kind of keep it working, benefiting one team. Clearly, we've seen so far the rules are not being abused in any way, where teams are being able to sign players, noteworthy players, to their USL team and then get them up to their first team.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, they sent Carlos Harvey to the Galaxy. The Galaxy allocated him to the G2 team, and now the G2 team is loaning him up to the first team for this tournament. And this tournament has this it's we'll get into that later. Sorry.
Yeah, because we've seen where again with Kai Koruniak where they'll just get a player up for 2 games and then bring him back down. So there's weird stuff like that where they can bring up players and down with kind of the flick of the wrist. They're hey, we want a player, we need him.
Yeah, it does seem slightly more difficult than we need somebody this week, send him up. We don't need somebody, send him back down. They do seem to for the most part, keep people for some time unless it's we got a friendly tournament.
I would assume they have to they have to bring them up for.
I imagine there's paperwork.
1 game and then they're back down.
Yeah. In the case of these two guys, it looks like they're staying on the team through the duration.
Yeah, they're going to be first teamer. Or well, yeah,
they're first teamers. Yeah. They're going to remain. And
Kai is on permit. He got signed to the first team.
Yeah, good. I mean, we still don't even own Carlos Harvey, so because we don't own his rights, a little harder to say what's going to happen with him. But yeah, I mean, good on them. Good on all of them. We don't have another wide player that's an option outside of Katai and Pavon. And with Katai gone, we need to fill that spot. The question had been, do you fill it with Julian Araujo? Do you fill it with Sebastian Lletget, who's a center midfielder? Do you fill it with Efrain Alvarez, who's an attacking midfielder? What do you do? And in this scenario, if you were a fan of a team around the world, or one of the bigger clubs you follow, air quotes bigger, but one of the more promoted clubs you follow. That's what I like. I like that phrasing better. If it was one of the more promoted clubs you follow, and outside of a transfer window, a big player went down, or a big player got sold, a big player went out. I think as a diehard fan, as a hardcore fan of the organization of the club, I want to see youth development. Yeah. I want to see you bring somebody through and say, all right, you're getting your shot. We're going to see what you got. You shouldn't operate that way all the time. If look at our best championship seasons. They were done with depth, squad depth that was ready to start on most teams in the league. Realistically, that's not where we're at. And you can keep hitting your head against the wall saying this is where we should be at, but that doesn't matter. That's not where we're at.
And realistically, in a salary cap league, you can't really do that year after year after year.
It's hard. It's hard to keep. I mean, you saw what happened with our dynasty teams. We kept having to move. Sean Franklin, we had to move out. At some point, you just have to start getting rid of these people. Mike McGee, we had to get rid of. You just have to. You have to move them on. Gordo has to move on. Bottle's got to move on. It's Kai, and I'll be the first to correct myself in saying, hey, I'm concerned at the sheer number of youth players we have that are propping up the first team. I think we're at about a third of the team now of youth and homegrown players that have made their way into the first team that's supporting up the first team.
Mm-hmm.
In the case of Kai, that's what you'd want. He's the best player at his position at our youth level. He's the best player naturally at his position that isn't in the first team. Why not?
Yeah,
This is why you keep losing youth players.
Shouldn't that be the goal of like your best player from G2 should be the one who comes up next?
That's it. Yeah. If there's a hole to fill and you can't bring somebody in immediately, let Kai give it a shot for a couple months. Look, I gotta sit on. Actually, we're talking about it later. I keep waiting for it. But
I know.
Give the kid a shot. I've been thinking we should do like a big board and then just check topics off to make sure we hit them all. But give the kid a shot. Give the kid a shot. See what he can do. Lurch is coming in, which is lovely. Oh, you okay? Ben just slid.
I think he just broke.
He just broke his hip. Ben's going down.
If anyone on YouTube Live, can you call? No, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
It's not funny, Joe. But yeah, like give the kid a shot.
Well, I think that's what before we had the importance of the tournament, and I say that like I want to quote that because it's not really important. But when they put the importance of having a Champions League spot on the line and then the extra cash for players and whatnot, we were saying like just play the kids. Like that's what we said. We came out. We're like just play the kids.
When it doesn't matter, play the kids. As soon as you put some stock into it, as soon as you put some weight into it, and they did with the Champions League spot, they did with whatever the phrasing of this is going to have ramifications on the regular season.
Oh, they have the games actually the points count towards the regular season.
Is that how it's going to work?
Yeah.
So it's just points and then a shaved season? I mean, I don't understand because you can have as few as 3 games in this tournament. Yeah, that's what I mean. So we'll leave it out there.
We'll see because
we'll stick a pin in it.
Yeah, there's some shit that's going down.
We'll stick a pin in it, but as long as there are real world ramifications, you want to put the best 11 on the field you can. I'm not sure Kai is the best option at a wing spot, but is he drastically worse than Julian Araujo at right wing? No.
Oh, he's probably a better crosser.
Probably a better. Yeah. I mean, he's, and it's the thing. If you play Koriniak at left wing and you swap Pavone over to right wing, Pavone is definitely better than Julian, and Kai Koriniak at left wing is definitely better than Julian at right wing. What's the problem? Like there's ways around it. If you're concerned about quality on the field.
I mean, I guess we'll see because today's Wednesday, so we'll see Thursday because they'll have the Galaxy versus Galaxy 2 scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
2 25-minute halves. So we'll get a chance to see what they plan on doing. I don't know if it's going to be their actual first team lineup that they're going to have out there for the first half. I mean, these guys they have to have some preparation, some game time play to get, match fit or whatever, however match fit you can get by not, playing games before a tournament. But yeah, well, I guess we'll get a little bit of
a scrimmage, right? There's
it's a scrimmage.
First team, second team scrimmage.
So we'll get a little clue, I guess, of how they're going to run.
Are you opening up 3 sodas? What's happening?
Dude, they wouldn't have even heard that.
Everyone. I'd like to think everyone in the world heard that. You guys let me know if you heard Ben open. What minute are we at? You guys let me know if you heard Ben opening a soda at
33, 34.
32-ish.
37.
37. That was a 7? That looked like an A.
He's throwing up the ATL and shit over here.
Oh, sorry.
He's throwing up gang signs, man.
All right. I'm not trying to get in trouble.
Lil Apple 121 says he heard it. Or she heard it. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't want to put a gender on you.
Cancel, man. We got to scrap the whole show.
I apologize.
It doesn't matter. I don't know why.
You don't need to apologize to us. You need to apologize to the listeners, Ed.
And I don't know why it doesn't matter.
Ed, you know what? I like you look directly in the camera. You make your apology.
I can't make eye
Jose
contact.
Orozco says, give Ben all the refined sugars.
Oh, he confirmed male. Okay,
Male.
cool.
Well, congratulations.
There you go. Congratulations, you're a male.
Hey, man, look.
Life's tough,
It's
dude.
fun, yeah.
Life's easy as a you're a man.
come on.
Life's easier.
I'll take a second to talk about that. Life is drastically easier as a man than it is as a woman. It's not fair, And if anything, men should be aware of it and should try to go out of their way to make lives a little easier for you ladies. Life is infinitely easier as a man than it is as a woman. It's true. It's just fact.
Oh man.
I didn't say it was better. I said it was easier. It is easier.
All right. Let's go into a little
Look
bit
at Ed
more.
Panic.
I know, that's what I saw too. Let's go into some more of the COVID Cup, because some ish is going down, man. Like it's only a matter of time before a team pulls out of this, right?
Should tack on. Carlos Harvey's second ever Panamanian player. That's really quick. Second ever Panamanian player with Jaime Pinedo, and if you were following along, 287th Galaxy signing and 101st midfielder. He is a CDM and a center midfielder by trade, more particularly a CDM. Not better than Perry Kitchen, so don't have to ask right now. But yeah, promising, very very promising. Young.
All right, moving on. We're going to talk about some COVID Cup stuff. First of all, I want to talk about. Did you see? You guys saw the picture of the meals that are being provided by for these dudes?
The Firefest sandwich.
Oh my goodness, man!
Dude, when you first enlist in the military, and you go through this processing station where you're getting uniforms and everything, that looked exactly like the same type of lunch they give you. It's just like a sandwich, like some sort of other starch. I know. I'm like, where's the juice box? It's like the only thing is missing.
I love this is the one time where like the internet's nice and like fun, is when you get stuff like this, and then you have people like tweeting, "Oh man, they're serving them prison food," or or my elementary school lunches were more healthy. Like this is when like the internet is fun.
Yeah, I mean it's.
So if you haven't seen Omar Gonzalez, former Galaxy player, so it's it's a little relevant, yeah. He posts a picture of what looks like a turkey or like a ham sandwich on like rye bread or something,
mm-hmm.
with a banana and then some sort of potato in like a plastic serving cup. I don't know what's going on. It looks gross.
What was strange to me, once I saw it, it reminded me of, I was on Corner of the Galaxy a couple weeks ago, months. Time's lost all relevance. But I was on.
Time's a contract made by man anyway, so whatever.
Whoa, bro, we getting fucking deep over here. What's going on? But I'm
taking gummies now, so you know.
Are you really? Regularly?
Not really. Every now and then.
CBD?
No. Hybrid.
My man. CBD's fucking waste of time.
CBD don't work for me. I've done
because you don't have any real pains.
I do have knee pains.
Then CBD would work. Then you need to do more.
Doesn't.
You need more.
Yeah.
Take more, Ed. Nah. Take some THC.
Oh yeah, vato!
Jesus
Christ. That was loud.
Oh my God. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, the sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
Well, it's strange to me. So when I was on Corner of the Galaxy, he's saying the setup is going to be the exact same that the NBA is getting. And I called bullshit then. I was like, there's no fucking way, period. There is no way they are treating Julian Araujo and LeBron James the exact same. It's just not going to happen. And he's like, no, that's what they said. Everything's going to be the same. It's like, there's no way, man. There's no way. There's no way. Didi Traore picks up the phone and is like, yo, I need something. And who's someone else in the NBA?
LeBron James.
Anthony Davis. I just used him.
That's not what I know.
But we got J.R. Smith today. There's no way Didi Traore can pick up the phone and J.R. Smith can pick up the phone and place the same order and both of them get the same thing. It's not. The world doesn't work. America doesn't work that way.
I think, and you know what? Even I'll forgive the sandwich. I'll forgive like the single banana and whatever weird potato they were serving with it. Charging $65 for that?
You see the menu?
$65 for that?
I love it. Omar's got money. He's all right. Omar got DP money.
I mean, come on, dude.
You want to know what's
$65 for like some shit that probably cost him like $2 to make.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
and it deserved probably you can charge if they charge you $10 for that meal, I'll be like, yo, they overcharged you for that.
It's America. You're quarantined. Where else are they going? Where is he going to go? He's supposed to be. Everyone's supposed to be locked down. Everyone's supposed to stay there. Like, what is he realistically going to do?
What can you
starve?
do?
Yeah.
What can you do?
You can't sneak anybody in theory. Like, I don't know. What's the plan? You just you eat the shit sandwich and move on with your life. You shouldn't go there. You know who's eating well? Carlos Vela. Vela's eating well.
Because he stayed home.
Yeah, he's staying home. You all knew what you were signing up for. Major League Soccer doesn't give a shit about any of those players. If they haven't figured that out yet, there's something wrong with them.
It just trips me out, dude. It trips me out to no, these dudes got a $65 sandwich you can get at 7-Eleven that would have cost them $3.
That looks like a 7-Eleven sandwich.
That's what the sandwich cost. The 2 sandwiches, because there was 2 in there.
Oh.
The 2 cost $65, huh?
Omar got a big appetite.
My goodness, man.
Hey, man. Hey, look. But also, from MLS's standpoint, why would you dump a whole bunch of money into a tournament that realistically may not even happen?
Yeah, I want to know. Do these guys get a per diem?
I'm sure they do.
I would imagine they'd have to.
I'd imagine they have a per diem, right?
Well, yeah, it would be in the CBA, and since it's a travel thing, I'm sure. I mean, it's a mandated per diem.
So MLS player union is probably the one who's paying for this stuff, right?
No, it's the teams.
It's the teams.
Yeah.
I would be so mad if this is what they got. I'd be so pissed. If I was the organization, be like, you're feeding my players a ham and cheese sandwich for $65.
You know what's great? This is shit. This is shit you have to pull when Zlatan is gone.
Oh, can you imagine if he was still here? Oh, he wouldn't have played though. I don't
know. Because he's such this weird serial competitor. But I mean, he's at practice. He was at practice with AC Milan.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem like he hasn't quarantined himself or anything. I'm going back through the days in MLS. I don't see how do you leave this box on Beckham's door? Yo, David, we got your lunch. Yeah, $65 and a tip. What's the move to? I mean, Gerrard's from Liverpool, so he's eating worse. But
no, Beckham's getting a drone delivered, prime rib.
It was our drone has a 4K camera. Don't even need it.
No,
don't even need it. It's how we shoot all of our clips for.
It's 4K. It's covered in Swarovski crystals.
Oh, I was I thought you were going to say. I swear to God, I thought you were going to say swastikas.
Oh no! Why would you say that?
I don't know. David Beckham is a lovely man. I don't know why that's even something that would potentially come to your mind, but it sounds like something you might say. But hey, man,
that's a hard pivot from swastikas.
Yeah, look, I got it. Speaking of swastikas, but don't go. None of you have any fucking business being there. None of them. And I get it. It's they're at work and it's hard. They got families. They're trying to stack up money. They got all those issues.
Because here's the thing: the sandwiches. It's not the worst thing they got to deal with.
No, it's the coronavirus going through their quarantine. It's more players, or I was going to say coming forward, but it's Major League Soccer letting you know. Because that's really what it is. It's not players coming out saying, hey, I've tested positive. It's Major League Soccer at a time that works for them and benefits them because we don't actually know where the numbers are. It's Major League Soccer coming out and saying, hey, this thing happened.
Because Jeff Carlisle posted on June 20th on Twitter that 18 players and 6 staff has positive tests. So this is and FC Dallas came out and said they had 6 players test positive for the virus, and they're already there. They're in the bubble.
Yeah,
they're in this bubble that they're not supposed to leave, so they don't contract the virus.
And just to refresh you quickly, 6 players is exactly how many players the Orlando Pride had when they pulled out of the tournament completely. Mm-hmm. It's 6 players and 4 staff members, and Orlando was like, "Hey, we're out. We're done." For a tournament that's in Orlando, right? For the NWSL?
No, it's in Utah.
Yeah, it's in Utah.
It's in Utah.
I started a message in my head. But anyway, you had six players for the Orlando Pride pulling out, or the entire team pulling out because 6 players tested positive. Now you have FC Dallas testing positive.
In the chat, they say 10 players now. FC Dallas, 10 players. How do you just what? We're not going to play.
When does MLS say that?
I mean, that's a question we asked last week. What's the number? What's the number where you're like, you know what, this is not going to work? But they've already poured out so much money into this already.
When enough big players say they're not going, that's when it's going to happen. And I don't know that we have that dude in Major League Soccer today. I don't know that we have I don't believe we have a Zlatan type.
Your biggest players stayed at home already.
Yeah. Jonah?
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll safety net you there. And then, other noteworthy players in Major League Soccer, like Carlos Vela, have said that they're not going. But certainly
Some bitch-ass players.
Certainly from a marketing standpoint, for the league, one of the players they market the most has said a long time ago, I ain't going.
Not going.
I'll be honest with you. At this point, if Javier Hernandez goes, I would be pretty surprised. Genuinely, at this point, I would be shocked. It's not to say that he's not going. I don't have any information whatsoever to say he's not going. But I would be pretty surprised if Jonathan, or we had a player pull. I'm trying to do this like proper radio shit where I just push things to the back. But the Galaxy are having players say they're not going. How's that? It's getting to a point where I don't know how much it's worth it, even for the league. Like, how much is it? So the Galaxy win the Coronavirus Cup, the COVID Cup, whatever they're calling it. How much? I mean, who are you beating? You're beating some guy who makes $80,000, who has to go, who doesn't want to be there, whose teammates and friends are getting separately quarantined. So we beat FC Dallas. 10 of their fucking players can't play.
Yeah.
Like, we're not beating FC Dallas. We're beating this weird collection of players from FC Dallas. We're not beating FC Dallas. We beat, I hate to say it. Look, there's this whole like, oh, fuck LAFC shtick and all that, but we beat LAFC. We're not actually beating them. Because you know what LAFC is. LAFC is a fluid attacking team that has their attack is ran through Carlos Vela, one of the top forwards in the league. We're not beating them. We're beating dudes wearing laundry. We're beating dudes wearing a jersey from their academy programs and they don't have a second team, but from their academy programs, from what would be their U23 team. That's who we're beating, because their main guy is like, fuck it, I ain't going.
Yeah.
If you beat the Galaxy, our main guy is not going. The moment the main dude is gone, if we had this exact same tournament last year and Zlatan was like, fuck no, I ain't going. Anyone who beat us, every single Galaxy fan would be like, you didn't beat us. Our main dude stayed home. The guy that the whole organization is built around stayed home. That's the exact same thing happening with LAFC.
Yeah. I mean, if the Galaxy beat LAFC in the second game of the season, or tournament, whatever, what's the excuse is going to be? Well, we didn't have a full team.
We have a full team, yeah. But
logically,
every single fan in this league has that defense about their team. The only team that won't use it is whoever wins the whole thing. But for everyone else, it's like, yeah, my guys weren't even there. And I see in our YouTube, in our chat thread, we have Robert Rio saying, hey man, a win's a win. Absolutely. And if you took that win, I am a Galaxy historian. I'm going with this now. I'm a Galaxy statistician. I want to know the weird, inane little factoids. You think I'm not going to add every single win to my spreadsheets for this? Of course I am. Every single tackle that gets, every single foul, every single yellow card, it's all going into the spreadsheet.
Win's a win, baby.
Win's a win. That's the way. And a loss is a loss, and a draw is a draw, and all that. But logically, and I understand when it comes to sports fans, and certainly soccer fans, and certainly Galaxy fans, logically, that aspect rarely comes into the conversation. I said it to someone today. Where the Galaxy is housed in my brain never passes over my logic centers. It just doesn't work that way. It's housed in this whole other part that's purely emotional, and that's just where it stays. That's why it's depression and then anger that quickly. Logic never really comes into it. But for a second, while you're not watching them play, before you get all heated about it, logically, any and everyone in this league can say, hey, shit didn't really count. My guy wasn't here. Your best guy wasn't here.
Mm-hmm.
It's
because it's just so this.
I don't know how long you do it.
Yeah, and I mean the tournament doesn't start for a whole another week.
Yeah, it starts in 1 week.
So how many more cases are we going to get between now and then?
Oh, I think we're going to see a spike tomorrow. I think you're going to see a high. I mean, we went from 6 to 10 before we recorded.
Yeah.
It was 6 when I wrote down my show notes this afternoon. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's 10 by the time we start recording.
And then, I mean, guys, like, the Galaxy haven't even gone out. There's a ton of teams who haven't even flown. They haven't even God damn it. They haven't even gone to Orlando yet.
They haven't arrived.
Yes, thank you. Sorry.
But look, it's for me, there's no surprise. There's no surprise that where you're seeing the spike in testing or where you're seeing the spike in the numbers, the Orlando Pride in Florida and FC Dallas in Texas. Like, we don't have to get all political, but 2 states where their governors were like, not only fuck you are we not closing, but we're proud of the fact that we're not closing. You are idiots for closing for closing your business so much. And now it's like, yeah, they're gonna spike. It's a contractable virus. That's the way it's gonna work.
Yeah.
Like you've heard early on what it's gonna take to stem the tide here and to what do they say we should do? We gotta slow the spread or bend the curve or something like that. We've already been told what has to happen. We have areas in and it's spiking all over the country, of course, because all of our borders are open and you can go wherever you want. But if you have an area where they're saying, hey, you can the Orlando Pride was because they went out clubbing. Like if your clubs are open where people are dancing and canoodling and flirting, it's sin all over the floor. It's terrible.
You know, when you hear this, it's getting hot in here. I mean, just people are going crazy.
It's pronounced, sir,
sorry.
Please. It's my culture. It's pronounced her.
I just want to apologize. I'm sorry being culturally insensitive, and I apologize.
We want to let you know Ed has been terminated from the Riot Squadcast. Effective immediately. We want to distance ourselves from all that, and that's not how we choose to carry ourselves. # Black Lives Matter. Yeah. You got to put that at the end of every post, or people stop, I guess, buying your sandwiches or ice cream. I don't know. It's really important.
Maybe I should stop charging $65.
Just treat the police like everybody else. It's really all anyone's asking for. Yeah, it's maybe next year.
Probably not.
I don't know the answer to. I don't know the answer. It's not working. It's not going to happen this year. Maybe next year. I don't know the answer to what the number is. But I think it's going to get higher.
It's got to.
I think it's going to get higher before I think it's going to get higher really soon.
Because wasn't the whole thing that MLS teams are going to be isolated or quarantined like a week before they fly out or whatever?
When you need it 2 weeks minimum.
Yeah.
Again, they tell you very simply and very clearly what we need to do to beat this, or what we at least need to do to slow it. They've told you. You're getting ready to move all these players from all over the country into an area together. And you're going to check their temperature. And I'm hoping they're testing them coming in. But if you're not testing them and isolating each of those guys by themselves, what does it matter? Like if you're testing every Major League Soccer player going in, and it's someone who's young and fit and asymptomatic, but once they've gotten their test, they're just let out into the wild with all the other MLS players. What does it matter? I don't know how this shit works. I can't even. And I get that they're doing it in each person's car. I'm surprised the Galaxy are like, everybody come down to the stadium.
Yeah, I don't, and because one of the things was like, come take pictures with the Galaxy, or like you're gonna, like, how is that gonna work? Just from like,
what are they gonna do to keep everyone in their car?
You gotta have, I mean, a line of security, I would assume, 6 feet apart from each other.
So then you're asking that security officer to what? What do they do besides go and get back in your car? They're gonna grab the person? Is that security guard going to come within 6 feet of each person that tries to get out of the car?
I don't know, man. Maybe have
how much you paying that security person?
You have the Galaxy surrounded in a like plexiglass. I think it's a bad idea.
I was really, really, really surprised to see them put up anything that was like, yes, everyone come down to the building, come down to the stadium.
Well, I thought there was like, at first it was like a sign up thing, but then I think they kind of gone away with that. Like they've kind of gone away from that.
Red velvet rope. That's how you protect them all. Like that Janet album. I don't know, man. I mean, I think they got, it was strange because they got to a place where I think the average Galaxy fan had become, and it's weird. Look, I'll be the first to admit it. Like, it's an addiction. the club as a whole is an addiction to a lot of people.
And then you haven't been able to fix that.
You've
Like,
been able to
you
get a
have-
fix
yeah.
for a long time, and it is an addiction. And you see people on Twitter every day like, damn, like I'll see random tweets of like, I fucking miss a stadium,
Or like, oh, today would have been in San Jose, or
Yeah.
today would have been this
which was
certain
last
game.
week.
I know.
But it's you see it was the Portuguese Hammer every week was updating who his calendar was notifying him that we were supposed to play.
I'm on my computer every day, and I'll
Turned it
get
off.
and
I turned that shit off.
I keep telling myself that I never turn my calendar notifications off. So every Saturday or every Wednesday when we're gonna have a game, it's like, oh, LA Galaxy today at 7:30 versus Colorado Rapids. You're like,
Oh, that's right. It's just it's weird, man. Like it's a weird call to finally get people past. God damn, I want to go down to the stadium. God damn, I miss all my Galaxy friends.
That's
God
right.
damn, I miss seeing everybody.
So when they announced the scrimmage, I texted one of the people we know at the Galaxy. I'm like, yo, what's the chances I can get into that stadium for that scrimmage? He's like, 0.
But what's your when you see that they're running a scrimmage?
It's obsession.
When you see that they're running a scrimmage, when you see that they're bringing people to the stadium, even in their cars, what's your default? How do I get in there?
Yeah.
What the fuck makes you think you're different than every other Galaxy fan that's like, oh man, I want to get into that scrimmage. I just miss watching them play. I hope it works. I hope it's safe. I hope every person that goes does what they're supposed to do, and I hope it works out for everybody. I personally was very surprised to see the Galaxy opening their doors at all to say, yes, come on in. Come on back. I just, even if it's to send people off, everybody, come on down. I was really, really surprised. Just because you're going to get some people that are like, hey, well, let's meet up here.
Well, because they're also telling people to. Well, I know for like the scrimmage game, they were telling people to like make banners and stuff like that, and those are being put up for the game on
Lars is
Thursday.
doing it, yeah.
So again, it's like you're asking people to get together and paint banners, and
It's so strange. It's so strange to me. I'm sure there's a plan, and I'm sure they have. I'm sure they have a strategy that they believe will make it work.
I wonder if it'll be like you come through the main gate and just do a U-turn at that, like when the like the security main gate.
Mhm.
You just make a U-turn and then like wave at somebody and then go back.
I'm an obsessive Galaxy fan. I'll be the first to admit that.
Again, that's
that
what-
doesn't even sound appealing to me as something to do.
But again, it's strange to me because one of the selling points was like, hey, come and take pictures in your car with the Galaxy players. And to me, I'm like, well, how's that going to work?
I'm telling you, man, I have no answer for you on this topic. Like, I don't know why they would do it. I don't know what the benefit is.
DG in the YouTube comment says, Tucker, I like how in spite of all the evidence, you still assume there's a plan and that people have this figured out.
You know what? Look, my good friend DG. Let me put it this way: it's not so much that I assume there's a plan; it's that I know the people. I personally know the people who would be in charge of doing something like this, and I like to believe they're smart enough to have a plan. That's probably the way I should phrase that. It's not so much that I trust the plan because we planned to hire Kurt Anolfo for a job we all knew he couldn't do, just like we planned to put Pete Vanis in the general manager position when we knew he couldn't do it. Just like we, all due respect and rest in peace, just like we assumed Ziggy Schmid was going to be able to control Zlatan Ibrahimovic. In the same way we assumed Frank Yallop would be able to control Beckham. Realistically, no, I don't think there's a plan. I think it's hopes. And I think it's genuinely, I think it's trying to gas people up for a tournament that at its best, you shouldn't want to go on. I think they're trying to get you amped up for something that on a good day, you should say, hey, I genuinely, because if you do, if you actually care about it. Sasha Kleshin, I've DM'd him a couple times, talked to him. I like the guy.
You slid into the DMs?
Yeah, oh, you know me, man. That's my move. But I genuinely like that Sasha's back, or that he's here. I genuinely like that dude. Like, having spoken to him, I genuinely like that guy. Given that I like him, I don't want him to go to this. I don't want any of them to go.
He got babies, man. You got to come back to.
Man, hey, he made like 1.5 last year. You cool. You're good. Like, I get it. They're athletes, and this is the thing. You are arguing for his expectation of his lifestyle. He made $1.5 million last year. He's fine. He may not be Newport Beach fine, but he's fucking fine. Go get you an apartment in Inglewood, and you'll be all right on your $1.5 million.
Ooh, Collection ain't buying Inglewood apartment.
Bro, he's at Black Lives Matter protest. He's one of us now. He's good.
I can see him like a Seal Beach dude.
Come to Long Beach. Get a 2-bedroom apartment. Get a 3-bedroom apartment in Long Beach.
Live next to Daniel Stairs.
Done. He moved out of Long Beach. He's in Newport now. He got that contract. But again, he's fine.
Hey, you know what? Hey,
these guys are fine, man. You're good. I understand Didi Traore going. I understand Julian Araujo going. There are guys I understand going. I get some of them. But like, Zubac, you come from a wealthy family. You're cool. Bingham, you've been cleaning up Major League Soccer for years. You're good. You're good. And if you're not, you need to go to Florida, get your paycheck, take a part of that money, and give it to someone who's going to do some financial planning for you. Because if one season of being an athlete in America, making the type of money you've been making, throws all your shit off, there's something wrong in how you're
diversify your bonds,
and how
man.
you're managing your money.
Diversify your bonds.
I'm with you.
We'll
He hasn't
take it.
seen
He
it.
doesn't
He
get
hasn't
it. He doesn't
watched
get it.
it.
It's
He didn't
fine.
watch the Spell show.
It's fine.
I'm glad you didn't drop an N-bomb at the end of that. I appreciate it. So it's been a rough quarter. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, if you shouldn't want any of these dudes to go. Like, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion.
Well, especially in just the surging case numbers that are happening right now.
And we're not even there yet.
Yeah, how many teams are even there? Like, there's like not even a quarter of the teams that are
I think
Florida
like
yet.
4. I don't think it. But everyone, wouldn't you say as a leader of an organization, we're gonna spend, and it's what I assume the Galaxy's doing. We're gonna spend the least amount of time there possible.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm sorry I got to put your life in this situation. I assume, but we're gonna spend the least amount of time there.
I don't know, man. I just don't know how you can justify bringing in like 640 players or some odd number like that.
It's money, man.
I get why they're doing it.
No such things as essential workers. No such things as essential workers. There are expendable citizens. That's it. And these guys, these 600 guys, whoever they are all expendable citizens. Most of them are expendable citizens. Some of them aren't citizens, but there are expendable workers. That's it. That's what these guys are. I don't want my team to be expendable workers, so I don't want them to go. So I don't want to drive by and wave goodbye and take pictures as I send them into a state that's a virus hotspot. Because to me, that's wrong. It's wrong. It is, to me, it is flat out wrong that they're going to go play this tournament. I understand the business side behind it. I don't know all the numbers. I don't know how much money is talking about. I don't know if it's.
Well, I feel like it's just them. They have to fulfill the contracts, like TV contracts, and just to get their money, to get paid.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. It's about maintaining, fulfilling your order, so you can get the money you need to kind of continue. Completely understand that. They shouldn't be going. I wouldn't. If you told me you were getting ready to hop on a plane to Florida, I would tell you you're out of your fucking mind. I would call your mom. I was gonna say I call your wife. I would call your mom and be like, "Hey, you need to shut this down," because that's nonsense. And that's
I think you'd have a better chance to call my wife.
Nah. Well, I would call your grandmother and see if she could just bother you until you're like, fine, fuck it, I won't go. But nah, I can't roll with this, man. I can't roll with this tournament at all.
As the time goes on, I'm more and more uneasy, right? Like, so we talked to the Spectrum Sports interviewer, like when she was asking questions, like, "Are you excited?" I'm like, I can't really tell you that I am. Like the term
I went out of my way to not dog that tournament.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, I'm cautiously optimistic. Like I want to see my team play. I mean, that's literally what I've been wanting. That's what I do for the last 25 years. Like, I watch this team play. It's the only team I really care about. So yeah, I want to see them play. That's like it's a drug. Like we said,
it's a drug.
It's an addiction that you need to have to fix. But if it's at the point where it's going to risk their health,
And it will.
And let's be honest, as much as I love it and as much as Chris loves the game, it's a game. It's dudes kicking the ball around.
But what did I tell Joe, was their lady's name? What did I tell her when she asked about she in her in the stuff for the actual show she's doing, she asked us, I don't know if she asked you, she asked me, how has the coronavirus affected your soccer watching, especially if it's an addiction? How has it affected your soccer watching? I told her the truth. I've watched more games since the coronavirus hit than I ever watched before. What we've talked about on the show, I'm going to tell you the exact same thing. Go to footballia.net, find a random game you do not know the result to. Footballia does not post. They hide the results. You can click it if you want to see it. They hide the results. Find any game that you don't know the result to, and go watch that game. What is the difference to your life?
Mm-hmm.
What is the difference to your life? None? Great. There's no risk or difference to your life, and Joe Corona doesn't have to put his health at risk to go to Florida. On Saturday, this past Saturday, just gone through this past Saturday, on the June 27th, Florida had 9,585 cases, which is a new record for that state. But on Friday, you're going to drive by the stadium and stick your head out of a window and wave at players as they hop on a plane to go to that state. For what? People getting sick right now. People in that bubble getting sick right now.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I genuinely care about my players. I know I shouldn't. I certainly shouldn't to the level where I'm like, well, I guess I should. Because I shouldn't feel bad about it. It's human. It's human to say, like, I don't want to knowingly put you in danger any more than need be. And that's all, for me, that's all it is.
Knowingly put you in danger for the league to fulfill its contractual duties for their TV sponsor.
Someone, was it Manny Deuce Martinez in the YouTube chat? Great idea. Especially if you can get everyone to agree to do it. And you would need consensus around the league, but everyone doesn't. What if we watched the Galaxy play Galaxy 2 8 times and fulfill their TV contract? And Atlanta played Atlanta 2 8 times, fulfilled their TV contract.
Or what they used to do, like the hockey teams would go and play like a best of 7 series or whatever.
Yeah, play
like what
Kings play the Ducks over
Canada
and over.
would
and
go
over
play Russia, the best of 7
Summit
series.
Yeah. I had a documentary about that for you. Yeah, if the Galaxy said, "Hey, we're not doing MLS's thing. We're gonna run a blue-white scrimmage against Galaxy. You want to make $1 billion? Put LAFC and a Galaxy in a 2-week bubble, and then let those guys play each other 8 times. Would you miss one?
No.
Would you miss a single game?
Mm-mm.
I'm not watching this fucking tournament at all. I'll watch it. I'll watch the Galaxy game so we can talk about it. But the rest of it, fuck that, man. This shit's getting worse.
Yeah, are you gonna watch Columbus versus whoever at 6 a.m?
If they no bullshit. If Florida was down to 1,500 cases a day, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Like if the quarantine bubble was working, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Especially me. I'm up at fucking 5:30 every day. I got no problem with that. But it's getting, bro, Saturday, the state hit their record. Nah, I'm not cool with any of this. Galaxy versus Galaxy 2, 15 times. I'll watch every single one. I'll tweet about you guys like it's the reinvention of sandwich bread. I'm in. But it's cool. It's cool. Cincinnati, Nashville. Let's do it. Cincinnati, Nashville, make it so somebody can't see their grandmother for 2 fucking months. You soulless hounds. I get it, man. I'm not even hating on you. I'm not coming at you. You want to stroll by there on Friday? That's your business. They're going anyway. That's the thing. They're going anyway.
Yeah.
So if that's how you want to roll, you want to stroll by and say hi and send them off, I got no problem with that. It's your business. For me, the tournament's fucking cruel. And it's sad to watch these owners of Major League Soccer look at these players and go, yeah, they'll be all right. I can tell you Uncle Phil ain't going to be there. Uncle Phil going to be there? Nah. Arthur Blank ain't going to be there.
No.
Mara Paulson's not going to be there.
I can see Arthur Blank going.
Nah, he's too old. They're not putting their lives at risk to complete a Major League Soccer season. That's not the way this game works. They'll put Efrain's life at risk. They'll try to put Jonathan's, but Jonathan's good. Money management. I don't know, man. There's a question in the YouTube chat. Does this make you complicit? Honestly, yeah, of course. You're a part of it. You're a part of it, man. It's any person that watches it is a part of it. It's okay. I'm not saying don't watch it. I'm not telling you not to follow it. I'm not telling you don't get involved. I mean, that's not the lane I'm moving in. That's not my place. Live aloha. You know what I mean? If you want to watch it, if you want to be into it, cool. But I mean, yeah, of course. You want to mute your mic while you're typing? It's coming through loud and clear.
Sorry, I'm typing to Brian Jordan, who commented on our Facebook Live.
Turn your mic back on.
It's on.
Yeah, but put it down to the. So, I mean, that's my only thing, man. You know, it objectively it's wrong. If it wasn't your soccer club, if you heard they were loading up children and putting them on a plane, and they're going to be in quarantine, don't worry. They're loading up 620, 10-year-olds, and they're all going to Disneyland. It's going to be quarantine. It's a bubble, and everything's cool. Yeah, we got 10 cases over here that popped up. Yeah, we got 6 cases over here that popped up. But don't worry. The rest of you guys are going to be cool. I know most of you haven't even gotten here yet, and some of you are from states where your parents can go to a bar and come right back and give you a hug and hopefully not infect you. But right after that, we're going to check your temperature and put you on a plane. So if it was fucking kids, you'd all be against it. You'd all be against it. I hope. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say you'd all be. I shouldn't speak in definitives like that. I shouldn't say you'd all be against it. I would hope you'd be against it. I would hope you'd be against it. Because I'll tell you right now, man, my wife works at Whole Foods. Fucking dickheads walk in without a mask every single fucking day. Every single day. She's at a grocery store. Every single fucking day people walk in. And you're telling me the Galaxy players got to go to a place where other players could go to a bar on Wednesday? And on Friday they're hopping on a plane? Pfft. Yes, you're complicit. Yes, it's wrong. How you feel about that and how you choose to process that information and what you do with that, it's your business. I ain't here to judge you. I'm not your judge. That's on you. But yes, in my eyes, you are complicit. In my eyes, it's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, to put my mic back on. I mean, yeah, it's you're obviously complicit because if you want to see your team play in this tournament, you're complicit.
Well, look, I'm complicit. Even if I don't watch it, I'm complicit. They're doing it for viewers. They're doing it for advertising revenue. They're doing it for people like all of us who they know are, in a way, hurting for some live soccer. And look, I've watched the enhanced games with the pumped in audio. It's not bad. I got it. It's cool. It's fine. But it's hard when you flat out know it's a money move.
Yeah.
It's rough when you know it's just about the advertising.
And I think any like the motivators for like the American sports, you're like, any of this is like motivated by money. Like, I just feel like that's all it is for the American sports. I guess we'll move on while Tucker goes and takes a pee break. I know. Let's talk a little Juninho, because I know Ben, he's your favorite player.
Yeah, I'm a big Junie guy.
Big Junie guy. Today announces yesterday he announces his retirement.
Yesterday announced his retirement. Yep.
I'll
Did
read
you see the videos that were put up, by the way? Go ahead and read it.
I'm gonna read Juninho's statement that he posted. He titled it "Retirement Letter." It has been so difficult to express the end of my career in words. First of all, thank you, Mom and Dad, for all the tireless support and dedication to give me the hope to succeed in a very competitive sport like soccer, and I didn't disappoint you. I did it in the best way possible. After a fantastic journey in professional soccer, I have decided to retire. I want to thank you. I want to thank all of the clubs which allowed me to perform and showcase my talent. Thank you to all my coaches throughout the years who helped me develop into the player and man that I am today. I'm thankful for all the friends I gained thanks to soccer and for the medical staff who took care of me in the good moments and the bad. A big shout out to all the fans who have followed my career no matter where I played. To the supporters of Sao Paulo, the LA Galaxy, Club Tijuana, and Chicago Fire. I try to represent your passion every time I was on the pitch. Thank you all for allowing me to serve your clubs. Lastly, thank you to my family and close friends for always believing in my talent. Something like a simple word made me feel special and supported no matter the circumstances. Although the end came sooner than I would have liked, I'm very proud of what I accomplished during my soccer career. Now it's time to look forward to the future and see what life has prepared for me. So that's Juninho retiring at the age of 31.
31.
It's,
31.
It's real young. But I mean, we saw his last year with us. Well, not much of his time, but he had like a really bad injury a couple years ago, and it kind of was like the end of it.
It happens.
But I think one of the best, and I think Chris pointed this out, one of the best things that happened was that he came back and was able to retire as a Galaxy player.
G. It's for me, it's important.
Because you see a lot of times where guys will come back, like, you know, quote unquote, you know, legends or guys who made their career with us, come back for a year and then go play another club and then retire.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's kind of unsatisfying.
Yeah. Like Gordon. Gordo ended up at Colorado, and then retired. I would have loved Sean Franklin to come back. Tried to get Kevin Hartman to come back for a one-day contract, but the Galaxy weren't about it. God, I can't think of anyone who's left in the game, but like AJ, I want to come back. I want AJ to retire a Galaxy player. I think the vast majority of everyone else is kind of called it quits that I would care to see come back. Juninho, gone but not forgotten, my man. 7th and 10th, number 19 in Galaxy history. He ends his regular season career. I'm working on a playoffs spreadsheet, so that's going to come at some point. Obviously, I needed a definitive list, so I'm segmenting regular season, U.S. Open Cup, and playoffs so that I can total them together and have like, oh, these guys definitively did boom, boom, boom. But for his league play, which I have completed, a stunning, for me anyway, 189 appearances. I mean, you really don't get that every day. I think he was our third highest capped midfielder, just behind Kobe and Cienfuegos, and our 8th highest capped player of 8th. It's 8th highest capped player of all time. Respects. Like it's sad, man. Like I got it. It happens on my. Do you mind? May I?
Go.
You see it. I saw it on my. Apologies, sir. I love you, Ed. You're a good friend. I saw it on my Twitter, man. I saw it on my Twitter immediately. People being like, "Oh, good," and I'm like, "The fuck is wrong with you?" And they're like, "Yeah, but I mean, like, it wasn't that good." When did you start following the Galaxy? 2016. Oh, word. I got it. And don't get mad at them. You don't have to get upset. You don't have to leap to Junie's defense. It's easy. Junie is one of those rare guys. Junie is one of those guys where it's like, I'm just gonna show highlights. I'll show you right now. You don't understand what that dude was in his heyday? I'm just gonna show you some fucking highlights. Let me show you the cross that my man made in the 2012 MLS Cup final, where he just bang and then just sits on it like Jordan, just lets the leg hang. Let me show you that in case you don't understand. Let me show you the first goal my man ever hit when Seattle was supposed to be this booming up and coming franchise, and it was like, yo, that don't work here. That's not the way we play this.
That's
game.
Still one of the best calls. Hit with no regard to humanity.
No regard for humanity.
It's amazing.
No regard for humanity. I mean, this is a guy who made a career out of embarrassing Casey Keller.
ATK.
18.
Always test color.
Oh, always, yeah. I mean, it's
you remember that?
No, some of it's gone.
That's what we'd always say every time we play Seattle. ATK.
You shoot from distance.
Always test Keller. Buttle always did it and scored like 1,000 goals against Keller.
Keller had reach like his first year. A good portion of his first year, I really should say. He had decent reach, a good portion of his first year, and that was it. Like, Junie made a career out of embarrassing this kid. 40 years old, but embarrassing this guy. People who don't understand what someone like Juninho brought to the organization, you don't belittle them, you don't attack them. You educate them. That's your opportunity as a Galaxy fan to teach that fucking person. Because someone who became a fan in 2015, 2016 doesn't understand Juninho. That's it. And I get where they're coming from as a fan, 4 or 5 years in. And look, 4 years in, you know what I mean? You start to feel a little cocky. Start to feel like, oh, I got this. I know some shit. David Beckham, we won 2 titles. He played 6 years. Robbie Keane, yeah, a whole lot of goals. He was Landon Donovan, great. But you know what's really hard? It's the Sean Franklins are hard. Defending people like Sean Franklin. You know, Kevin Hartman gets his plaudits, but defend Donovan Ricketts. Just how truly amazing Jaime Pinedo was. Like how much of it's your job, Galaxy fans in the know, not to attack these people, not to belittle them. Bring them along, educate them, teach them. Hey, oh, you don't know Juninho? My boy's got, and you all know this. I know you all know this by now. My boy's got every MLS Cup. Let me talk to him real quick. He's gonna show you what's up. Because he can watch just the 2012 final. Juninho balls out all fucking day, the entire game. Junie balls out. So, teach, help, educate.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the positive comments definitely outweighed the negative ones.
By far.
You see so many stories of how good of a guy he was. Just how good of a dude he was. Like I saw stories where one person on Twitter said how like he would for 2 hours straight talk to like his mom and like had a full on like 2-hour conversation like he was a family member. Like it's stuff like that makes guys like him stand apart from other players. Like just real cool. Like always like I mean if we're being honest, we made his career. Like this was like the best years we're in a Galaxy shirt.
Yeah.
Because we got him real young with the trio from Sao Paulo, with him, Leonardo, and Alex Kazumba. And I mean, Leonardo left a little bit of his legacy here.
He won rings.
He won rings. But obviously, Junie was the one who stood out. And it's a guy who constantly it still is one of the guys who is the last person to actually shoot from outside the box and like make a difference. I think like Alessandrini did that a little bit.
There's one other one. Really pretty, and I miss him, and I hope he comes back really soon. He's the best. I love you, John.
But I mean, Junie was that guy. Like you were like when he hits it.
Anytime he had the ball anywhere on the field.
Yeah.
There's probably the closest comparison, and it's off, and it's far, and I want you to understand it's the closest comparison to it that I can find. He's like Zlatan. Wherever he was when he had the ball, if you weren't on him, your keeper better be where he's supposed to be. Because if he's not, he's going to end up on a highlight reel real quick. And Junie had that. Junie had that like, I can do it. I got it. And on a team, and that's the thing. It's not even that I got it, I can shoot it. It's on a team with Landon Donovan, Robbie Keane, David Beckham. Like, it's a team of stars. And this kid from Sao Paulo is like, yeah, it's cool, but I got it. Don't worry.
And that's what I appreciated most about Junie was the ability he had to make a quick decision. Playing with those guys, playing with Beckham, with Donovan, and with Keane, he was able to make quick, correct decisions that those guys, they trusted that if they made the right runs or they were in the right places, he was going to find them with the ball. Something you didn't find,
absolutely.
Especially in that era of MLS, it wasn't super common.
And you also get, and we've discussed the benefits of a Zlatan, the benefits of a Hernandez. We've discussed the inability to cover everyone. Like Juninho is what you got from an inability to cover everyone. You can't watch Zlatan and Robbie and David and Mike McGee. Oh, Juninho's got the ball. Oh, why is there no one within 10 feet of him? Because of everyone else I just finished naming. But it's someone who could take advantage of it. Pete Vianis found himself wide open all the time, and he passed the ball sideways or he passed the ball backwards. It doesn't do anything.
Backwards.
But it doesn't. You know what I mean? It doesn't do anything. Like Juninho did something. He was active. He was versatile. Juninho is an attacking midfielder that converted to a center midfielder and then a defensive midfielder, so David could go do whatever the hell he wanted. Once David left, Juninho was like, "Cool, I get a chance to run the middle. Sarvas will come in and play my defensive role, free me up a little bit." Players like Juninho are rare. Very, very, very rare. Someone who is really good and loves being here. Think of an Alessandrini. If I'm wrong, someone correct me. But think of an Alessandrini, someone who is very good, very, very good, and really, really bought into being here, making a connection with a fan base, making a connection with the organization, making a connection with the city, and just being about it, and the Galaxy being it. Sad to see him retire. Sad to see him retire at 31. Really fucking glad to see, obviously we'll discuss next. But really, really glad he retired at G. Like, would have been sad if he retired as, some other MLS team.
Yeah, I mean, if he was like retired as a Chicago Fire player.
Yeah, it would be terrible.
Yeah.
18 league goals. Okay. 18 league goals, 59 assists.
Whew.
Wild.
Whew. But speaking on Juninho, we'll go on. I want to hear Ben first though, man. Like, I know he's like your guy. So how are you feeling about this? Like, I mean, we're going to discuss his next career move in a little bit right now. But how are you feeling about his whole calling it quits at 31?
It caught me off guard. It really did. I thought that, maybe he would go, find someplace in Mexico or something. Somebody would want him somewhere, you'd think. Apparently, the injury just was probably worse than anyone really thought. So it makes me sad because, like Tucker said, the guy genuinely loved to be here. And whenever you saw him in anything, I mean, remember the old Backstage Galaxy, whenever you saw Juninho, he was always smiling.
Yeah.
And he always drew people to him. People liked him. You know what I mean? He was one of those guys that just you wanted to be around. Even like you could see it being in the stands. You could watch him playing on the field. You'd be like, man, that guy would be a cool guy just to hang around.
But then you got that where he's on the field and he's like scrappy.
Yeah.
Like he'll get into it.
Yeah.
But like in any video, like any like interview, like he's always smiling. He's always like happy guy.
Yeah. Always happy guy.
Yeah.
So, like Tucker said, I'm glad that he retired at G. Glad, he's going to stay in the organization.
Spoilers.
I'm pretty sure I'm not spoiling anything.
Yeah, I know. Let's talk about it then.
Get into it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really glad he's going to stay in the organization because I hope he passes like what Tucker was saying, that want to be here, that love for the organization.
Yeah, I think you need those guys.
He could, that's something,
yeah.
not just his skill, not just his technique. I hope he passes that on to the next generation.
Yeah, I mean, you have guys now in the organizations like Cien, Juninho, Sarvas. Well, we'll just talk about it. Juninho and Sarvas. It was announced.
As bad as this one.
I know. It's announced today that Juninho and Marcelo Sarvas are coming back to their organization as academy coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Sarvas
coming back to the organization.
Yes.
Juninho transitioning.
Sarvas he's been doing his academy coaching. I mean, with Colorado, I think he did a little bit with DC as well.
I would imagine.
So I mean, he's had coming in with a little bit of experience. Juninho's the one that really has minimal to none, but I would hope he's had enough experience, and like Ben says, like brings that passion for the club to be like, hey, this is what it takes to become a Galaxy player. Like, this is what you need. And I feel like you need that, to get to these kids' heads. Like, it's going to take more than I'm a good player to get through. Like, it's going to take so much more than that. And I'm hoping, like, guys like Sarvas and Juninho, like, they'll bring that. Because Sarvas was another guy who was, like, he came here and it was, like, he loved being here and wanted to be here.
If we're honest, probably more than Junie. Like, if we're honest with ourselves, probably a little more in Juninho.
Well, I think Sarvas was a little more, like, of that, like, outspoken, like, like...
Sure. I would assume Sarvas probably took to English a little better than Juninho did, which, obviously makes it easier for fan outreach. He came to the Lars Christmas party a few years back. It is a little easier to have that outreach in a community when you speak the language more fluently, at least, than your counterpart. I agree with you, man. Like, it's outside of what they can bring on the field, outside of
this was the
technical end.
Yeah.
Outside of, and look, I don't know Junie's coaching badges. He may still be working on them.
I'd assume, like, yeah, I mean, it's probably pretty fresh. Like, hey, we want you to be in the organization.
He's had some time though. He's had some time over the last 2 years. He probably should have figured this shit out.
Yeah.
But I think I texted some friends I have in the organization when the news came out, and I told them, I said, it was a stroke of genius. First off, getting them both back, love it. If you're looking for baseline opinion, love it. It's an amazing move. I personally love seeing, and I think the two of you agree with me. I love seeing ex-players get brought back into the organization. I like the idea of taking care of your own.
We're just waiting on Robbie, man. Waiting on Robbie.
I like the idea of taking care of your own. Marcelo Sarva shouldn't be coaching in any capacity in Major League Soccer for a different organization than the Galaxy. Juninho shouldn't be, Cienfuegos, for example, shouldn't be coaching for another team in Major League Soccer than the Galaxy. If he's going to get a shot in this country, it should be here. I hated fucking Kevin Hartman working at FC Dallas. I hated it. I'll be honest with you. I don't like Dan Gargan doing commentary for Atlanta. You're a Galaxy player to me. Like if you're going to do that, I would prefer you do it here.
Isn't he from Georgia?
I'm sure. Yeah. Well, let me figure it out for you.
Yeah, you got the list, man.
Let me pull. I got the list up right now. Let me pull it up for you. Big Dan Gargan is from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I think we had that was a Know Your History question.
Yeah. See, I don't know everything. Most of it is all spreadsheets. But I don't like that Robin Fraser coaches outside of the Galaxy. I don't know that Robin Fraser is good enough to be our head coach, but I would love to see him in the organization in some capacity. When we had an opening, when we had a head coach opening, I wanted Greg Vanney. Like I want Galaxy dudes. There are places that they belong in. You and I and I think Andrew and Matt were at the meeting when they announced that Pete Vianis was coming back. He had finally retired and he was coming back in the organization. I'll tell you then, like I'll tell you now, it's a great move. A great move. Should he have been elevated to general manager? Probably not.
Yeah, because at that point he was just like the head of the
he worked with youth
academy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing, same place you're transitioning, Junie and Sarvas into. If you're going to have a beef,
because if anything, you're putting me in a position where they can fail, and it's not something that'll really hurt it won't hurt the organization that much.
Well, if there's no one watching over the job that these two are doing, that's probably the far larger concern. You know what I mean? If there's not anyone a little more experienced that's keeping an eye on what they're doing, it's probably the bigger problem. But having someone like Pete back in the organization is great. It was a great move because no player, and I've had several former Galaxy players tell me this, no player in the history of the Galaxy organization, as far as they knew from their time, cared about the organization like Pete cared about the organization. Like Pete believed in the overall structure of the club.
Does it make you feel sad how his history is gone now?
No. It should be Look, one, it should be when Pete was general manager and we were railing against Pete as general manager. I'm railing in part against someone who's in a job they shouldn't be in, which isn't it's his fault to turn it down. He should turn it down for a job he can't do.
But I
take it. But I wouldn't turn it down. I should. And look, this is the thing. If I take that job, and you sit on your microphone, and Guessman sits on his microphone, and Angel and Bryant and Eddie and everyone sits on their microphone, and they're saying, "Oh, Chris shouldn't be in that job. He's terrible at that." You guys are 100% right. You would be 100% right. The fact that it's about me doesn't change reality of I shouldn't be in that job. Look, man, I'm a nice guy.
Well, see, that's the problem is you'd be general manager and I'd be the assistant general manager.
Absolutely, it's the only way to roll.
Yeah.
But look, I'm a nice
nepotism.
I try to be. I should say I try to be. I try to be a nice guy. I try to be a decent dude. If you make me the CEO of your company, your shit is going under. That's the way this works. Where I'm at right now, I disagree with you, Ben. You got like 9 microphones. I believe in you,
Tuck. I believe in you.
That's okay.
This is Tucker and Friends. We ain't gone under yet.
Klein believed in Vianis, and he was fucking wrong.
True. But you're the right person to lead this organization.
This organization? Yes, because I'm better than the two of you. But in that organization, I'm probably not. Ed Rodriguez. Ed Rodriguez.
Ed.
Are you? Do you want me to call the reporter back?
No,
what do you need? You're broadcaster, ma'am. But if you were president of the organization and you made me general manager, you would be fucking wrong.
If I was the president, there is some serious structure problems in the organization.
Which perhaps takes us to the far larger issue.
Yeah.
I've met Pete, and every interaction I've had with Pete, he's been very nice. I definitely heard that once he got in the organization, he's a bit of an asshole. I can't speak to that. I don't know that to be true, and I haven't spoken to enough people to feel like I've verified it independently. I've heard it from a couple people, and I know a couple of them that would have a reason to dislike him. So I don't know, but I can tell you every interaction I ever had with him, he was nice. He was fine. So I don't put it on Pete. I put it on.
Except for like that last year when he was like dodging everyone with fake phone calls.
But again, I understand that. Again, though, man, I get it. If you were in that same spot and you had made all the fuck ups he did, and someone's calling, look, black people don't pick up the phone when the electric company's calling them. You think we're gonna pick up when 30,000 people want to fucking scream at me? No, hell no. Look. Pete gave a fuck more than a lot of people gave a fuck. He was in a job he had no business being in that was way over his head. And if it wasn't for the Billionaire Boys Club, he never would have been in there to begin with. You want to put it on somebody, put it on Klein. And I'll tell you right now, if you brought it to Chris, if you brought it to Klein, you know what he'd tell you? That's my bad. I fucked up. That's what a man should do.
Yeah, own it up. Own it.
Move on.
Yeah.
I like us bringing back the older cats. It's always great. And it's a stroke of genius. Absolute stroke of genius to not bring Sarvas back until Junie retired. It's beautiful. It's so intelligent. As long as he was cool in Colorado, as long as he was all right in Colorado, and I assume he was, as long as he was all right in his situation, the fact that they didn't bring Sarvas over to join the academy until acquire Juninho as a PR stunt, PR move, whatever.
Yeah, because I wonder what was the timeline behind this. Because I mean, it's July.
I think I heard about Juninho right before Christmas, maybe right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, because I felt like I felt like he was retired already. Like I felt like the end of the season came and he
didn't play for a year. He didn't play for between TJ and us. He didn't play for a year, and then we brought him back in. I know I heard about it early, and the idea that I don't remember when exactly, but I heard about it prior to it being announced. The idea that they let Sarvas continue out his year in Colorado or whatever. And then it's the same announcement, right? It's the same announcement or separated by a few minutes?
No, well, the retirement and then...
The retirement and the academy.
So the retirement came out first, and then that's the academy, and then him and Sarvas joining the academy as coaches came out later. But it wasn't like very far apart.
It's a great move.
Yeah.
It's a great move. And it's a PR win. It's a great way to keep the fans a little happier. Maybe even get people a little more excited about academy developments. You know what I mean? Or maybe at a minimum, you got Sarvas to help get Sarvas, who's been coaching, who's been doing this job. You get Sarvas to say, hey, well, I'm going to help Junie figure this shit out. I'm going to help him as he's learning the academy process. I'm going to help him in the development. I'm here. It's my man. And look, I'm man enough to tell you, I didn't cry. Ed. I'll tell you, I did not cry. We got a little misty in here because I didn't know.
Chris was in between, like in his pedicure on, and then he saw it.
I didn't know. I didn't get a heads up on this. I knew nothing until I clicked the video and I saw, and it took a second for me to register it. I was like, oh, I thought they brought Sarvas in like as a,
hey, remember these guys?
Yeah, they played together and they're connected and he's here to say, I saw Sarvas in the thing and I read the little scroll on the bottom and it said Juninho and Marcelo Sarvas join academy.
And if you haven't seen the video, go watch it. It's 5 minutes. It's real short, but you see the chemistry between those guys, man. It's so great. Even Sarvas talks about how we're back at the club. We're a little bit balder, and I'm like, oh man, that's great stuff. That's great stuff.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it, man. Go and
getting guys who have championship mentality.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, going bell to bell, championship pedigree and mentality, teaching U9s. Hey, look, you want to win? You want to win. It ain't about your feelings. It ain't about whether you feel like getting up and practicing today. It's not about whether you feel like competing today. You want to fucking win? This is how we win.
This is how you do it.
But doing it in Portuguese, so it sounds fucking dope. So that it sounds intellectual. That's what I want.
Intense.
I love it, man. Oh, it's a Cienfuegos, Juninho, and Marcelo Sarvas are teaching Galaxy kids. If that doesn't make you happy, I can't help you.
Our midfielders are going to come out like crazy.
I can't help you, man. They're just going to dance around people. This is how you build a La Masia.
Yeah.
This is how you build it. Don't worry. I'll tell you right now, I'm not worried about whether Marcelo Sarvas and Juninho can get wins. I don't give a shit about that. Teach an 8-year-old how to control the ball when 3 dudes are around him. Teach someone how to look for a pass that's not the easy pass. That's not the home run pass, but somewhere in between. Teach these kids how to make smart passes, and I'm in. I'm in all day. And now they need to do the last thing that they need to do to put a cherry on top and bring Robbie Keane as a G2 coach.
There you go.
As G2 head coach. He could lose every fucking game. I wouldn't give a shit. And you know, it's weird.
He ain't got a job right now.
And it's weird. He just got fired. It's weird because you would have a setup for once that's built properly. If whatever worked out where your head coach had to dip, he is your guy in the wings. He's your second team coach. He's ready to go. I'll take Robbie. I'll take Robbie. Robbie could lose again. He could lose every game. He could lose every game for G2, and they would sell out every single fucking match.
I mean, it couldn't be worse than Mike Munoz.
Who's the without looking it up? Who's the G2 head coach right now?
It was like a academy guy they brought up.
What's his name?
I don't know.
There you go. I mean, I'm not saying shit can to do. You know, I'm not trying to mess your money up, but get Robbie Keane in. He knows the organization. He is a Galaxy. He is a Galaxy man.
Do you think he'd take a G2 coaching job?
He was assistant coach behind what was assistant coach, but Jonathan Woodgate, right, at Middlesbrough. Like, I should look that up because that could be spurious and wrong. And I know Ben's not gonna look it up. He's fucking lazy. Yeah, he was the manager of Middlesbrough. I got that shit. But like he's backing up Jonathan Woodgate.
I don't think his soundboard works today. I know it was. He was playing it earlier.
He's backing up Jonathan Woodgate at Middlesbrough and just lost his job in the championship.
You don't think you want to come back to live in LA and
hang out for 3 years and then get a wildly different job? I don't know, man. England can't be. Sorry, James. England can't be that great, and Middlesbrough sure as shit ain't that great. So I don't know. It seems like it would work, but it's all about what he feels like doing and where his family's at, and still chasing that dream. So
there you go.
What are you gonna do?
Now from 2 Galaxy midfielders, we're gonna talk another Galaxy midfielder. Not so great news, as it's been reported that Jonathan Dos Santos will miss the MLS is back / Mickey Mouse / COVID-19 Cup. He has an injury. It was reported today that he would undergo minimally invasive hernia surgery with Dr. Hutchinson, which I don't know why they dropped the doctor in there. But he's undergoing surgery tomorrow, and he'll be out of action for 6 weeks, which means he'll miss the entirety of the tournament. It's for sports hernia, so you know we all saw it in videos. We all saw it in videos. We know what Jonathan's been up to in the quarantine. So
my man is single. He ain't hurt nobody. I mean, I assume. He's this is the thing I don't understand. Who didn't fuck during the quarantine? Like
what else was there to do?
Who didn't have sex during the quarantine?
It was like puzzles, Netflix, and like.
He did all of that.
Yeah.
He clearly solved the puzzle. She seemed like she was having a good time. And, Netflix on in the background. Everything's good. We're giving this guy a hard time for.
He was Netflixing and chilling.
It's a shame about his injury.
It sucks, man. Yeah. I mean,
you think it's real?
I mean, why would it? I mean, he seems like a guy who's like not. He's willing to play. He's not gonna like. Why you think it's?
I mean, they reported almost 10,000 cases of the coronavirus 4 days ago, and who told you he's injured?
Well, the Galaxy.
There you are.
Wow.
I got nothing telling me that. I have no one telling me Jonathan's not hurt. For all I know, he's hurt. Now, I would hate to be the person to. Is it draw aspersions? Whatever. I would hate to be the person that made it look like he's lying about an injury. I don't want to be that guy. What I will tell you is I could see him not going. I could see him not wanting to go.
Or maybe it was an injury that he has, but it's like, hey, I have time. I can get a little minimal surgery and
exactly. Look,
kick back.
It's going to take 6 weeks for your surgery to heal. It's not as if you haven't had 3 months. Of course, now is the time to get your surgery. The only reason I don't believe it is the Galaxy told me. And I did learn from this today of where all the teams are I shouldn't say all the teams, where a lot of the teams in the league are still holding Zoom conferences so media outlets can interview players and speak to the players. Galaxy have held none. 0. So you want to see Galaxy North Korea? Yeah, I believe the captain of the Galaxy is injured. And I believe the captain of the Galaxy is injured, and you guys discovered this or decided to send him for his hernia operation 2 days before he was supposed to hop on a plane. So yeah, I big time believe.
I wonder if it has anything to do with them picking the season back up after this tournament. So they're like, well, you know what? Screw it. Get the surgery now. So by the time we come back and we're, whatever, if it's a reduced season or whatever they're going to be doing after this tournament, like get it now because, it's 6 weeks. We'd rather have you at the back end of the season than this little tournament.
But
so
you just had 12. Like you just had 12 weeks where the world was shut down. And you had nothing but time to heal.
I want to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
And maybe that's me being naive, which probably it is. But maybe it's something they discovered as they were coming back from the quarantine.
Okay.
And maybe they were like, well, it's not that bad.
I will say, not to disagree with you, I will say the most likely scenario that I can think of is 2 days before they boarded a plane to a tournament in a coronavirus hotbed, they announced the captain of the Galaxy had sustained an injury whilst not allowing any members of the media to speak to him or anyone else in the organization after he came back from 12 weeks of sitting at home. That sounds more likely to me than an organization with a history of being extremely secretive on any information, especially unhappy or uncooperative players. It seems more likely to me, I agree, that they discovered an injury recently and will not let anybody talk to him.
But does Jonas come off to you as the guy who's an unhappy or uncooperative player?
No. But he comes off to me as someone who is going to say, I'm not doing that. They reported 10,000 people 4 days ago. I ain't doing it. Because any human being comes off to me as someone who says, no, they reported damn near 10,000 people 4 days ago. I'm not going.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to understand, the size of the StubHub Center tests positive for the coronavirus every 3 days in Florida. Every 3 days. Yeah, it's perfectly logical to me that a human being would say, and that's what he is. He's not a god. He's not untouchable. He's not invincible. He's a 29-year-old young man. He's 30-year-old young man, however old he is. I think he's 28, 29. He's human with grandparents and great-grandparents and aunts and uncles and people that I'm sure he would like to visit. So I don't think he's uncooperative. I don't think he's unhappy. I think he is someone who's saying, I ain't fucking going. I'm not fucking going.
But why? So why we'll go with your conspiracy theory here. Why not just be like, hey, you know what? He decided not to go.
Why do they do any of the things they do? Ed, we've been trying to figure out the answer to how they operate and how they think for years.
So why the specific, he has a sports hernia and he's going to go get surgery?
Why was Gio injured? But
with Gio, it could be like, oh, he's having knee issues.
Yeah, he did for a year and a half.
But it wasn't like, hey, he has knee issues, he's going to go get invasive surgery and he'll be out for 6 months.
He'll be out for the entire length of the time he would have had to have been in Florida. Like, my only issue is you could have did it. You could have did it even 6 weeks ago. There are a lot of places in the country, and there are a lot of places in the country that were saying, hey, we're not doing, my son needs one. My son needs a surgery at the moment. We're not doing elective surgeries right now. In Los Angeles, could have flew. You clearly don't have a problem putting him on a plane to Florida. He could have got elective surgery in Florida 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago. I'm not saying he's not hurt. I'm saying there is a trail of breadcrumbs from the Galaxy that tend to lead to the same place. Mm-hmm. And that's with people unwilling to be open sharing information. I might be wrong. I don't know.
You're probably right.
Here's the thing.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No,
you're probably right.
I might be wrong. That's okay. I have no problem being wrong. I'm perfectly on board with being incorrect if I am.
Because I don't get that vibe from Jonah.
This is the thing. It's not Jonah. It's not Jonathan. It's the history that leads you here. It's not Jonathan's got an injury. It's Gio's got an injury. It's Yella's stepped away. He's going to be back in a week. Why? He's got a niggling injury. It's like, okay, it's not that his whole personal life is fucking burning to the ground and you don't want to say that. Just say like, hey, he's got to go handle personal business. Done. But you have such a history of making it fucking impossible to pull mostly meaningless information from you.
Yeah,
That if
like,
there's
for some reason they have to like they can't just like talk about injuries or
nothing's
anything.
normal.
Yeah,
That's why
nothing's normal.
you're like, I don't understand. Following your conspiracy theory, it's like, it's a conspiracy theory. You guys won't talk about an injured player, as if no one's paying attention.
Or we have to the information we get is from people like us, podcasters, or like people that are not in your organization.
If you don't hunt down the work most of the time, you ain't gonna get it. You ain't gonna get it.
Yeah.
And there is a mixture of an assumption that people either don't care about it, or, in my opinion, a view that they feel like they don't owe you that info. That's okay. That's your business. That's how they choose to run. This is the thing. This is the live aloha stage of my life that I'm at. If that's how you choose to operate, cool. Do you but do the thing that makes you happy. If that's how you guys, if that's how you view yourselves being more successful and thriving, then do that. Just don't come to me, and I imagine I'll get a text message tomorrow morning. Just don't come to me and say, "Oh, why don't you believe us about this?" Oh, here's a fucking list of the reasons I don't believe you. You want to answer any of those? No? Well, there we go.
There you go.
This is just the last thing on the list. I hope we don't need to add anything else to the list. I imagine in about a year or so we will need to. This is the way it is. Choose to run your operation different, and I'll stop questioning whether you're lying about players. Today, I assume Jonathan's not getting a surgery. Could be wrong. He might post on Instagram soon. But he might post, well, not that, but he might post his surgery on Instagram, putting in work.
I feel like the dude would like post himself on like TikTok, like in a hospital gown.
You got to get on. You got to get on his TikTok. His TikTok will bring happiness to your life. But he may end up getting surgery, and it might end up being a sports hernia. I hope he heals up well, and I hope he comes back, boom, better than ever.
Mm-hmm.
But the position they have put me in forces me to question the validity and the truth of it. That's it.
All right.
Don't get mad at me. I'm the podcast man. That's it.
Your podcast, man.
I just sit here and talk. I'm just having a conversation.
All right. Last thing we want to talk about before we get out of here, the Galaxy did have a like a Zoom call. They were called. It was Kobe Jones, Sean Franklin, Scott Thompson, and then
Alan Hopkins,
who was the host. They had
Fuck that dude, by the way. Sorry. Fuck Alan Hopkins, man. That dude wrote, I don't know if you remember this, like 2008, 2009, Chivas USA fans came to Lot 6 to fight us, and Alan Hopkins wrote a fucking report that we started shit with them, and I have not liked that dude since.
Tucker holding a grudge, man.
I'm
Serious
telling you,
grudge.
I posted that shit. I posted it in their YouTube chat, and he didn't read my fucking question, and I know that those two things are connected. I'm just saying.
Even though Alan Hopkins like wore a Riot Squad shirt under his.
He used to be down.
Yeah.
He used to be down. I don't know. I was surprised to see him on the thing today. I didn't know he. Are there no black people who work for the Galaxy? Why the fuck they call Alan Hopkins?
Well, because I think he hosts.
Does he
stuff,
still
like,
work for them?
I haven't
worked for the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen.
Did he ever work for the Galaxy?
Well,
He was like a beat reporter
Yeah.
for MLS. I thought. I haven't seen Alan Hopkins' face in probably 6
When I
7
heard
years.
that name, I was like, "Well, okay."
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Well, there's a LAFC fan on Twitter named Alan Hopkins, and originally when
yeah.
he first tweeted me, I was like, "Are you that dude?" Because I want to lay into you for writing a shitty report 10 years ago, and apparently he's not. So I just lay into him for being an LAFC fan. But yeah, fuck Alan Hopkins.
So they did a
Put a button on that.
like a conference call on like social equality and how the
It's
Galaxy
called racial equality.
racial
yeah.
equality. Sorry.
Better apologize.
Yeah. Wow. Jesus.
Again, Ed has been removed as co-host
That's
for Squadcast.
that's at DT Radio Ben if you want to get in contact with me. But yeah, so I mean, I was doing my homework at the time, so I was like listening while this was going on. Were you guys able to catch it?
I watched the first half. Yeah, I watched the part with Scott Thompson.
We talk.
I mean, I did. Did you watch the first?
I was here with you. Yeah.
Oh no, I watched. So it was going on like 20 minutes before that.
Damn.
Yeah, you came in on the dead end of it, but yeah, I watched the first half.
So, I enjoyed that they're doing stuff like this, and I think they need to do more of it. and I enjoyed them bringing in like guys like Scott Thompson, where I'm like, I had to Google who that was.
I didn't.
I know you didn't. Yeah.
I was the only person in the live chat. I was like, holy shit, Scott Thompson.
I didn't have to Google it either, Ed, because I was sitting next to Tucker.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, so all I did was say, hey, Tuck, who's Scott Thompson?
That's your personal Galaxy
Exactly.
encyclopedia right there. So.
Yes.
Scott Thompson, one of the rare Galaxy players to wear more jersey numbers than appearances he had for the club. He sat on the bench in 2003, never made an appearance, start or otherwise. And in 2004, he made one appearance. He wore number 17 and number 3. Again, I know Scott Thompson. Very surprised to see Scott Thompson pop up on that live stream, but it was great. He had great insight. It was amazing interview.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I enjoyed. Like I enjoyed the people they had. Obviously, they have, Kobe, who's always going to be like the guy to go to, because it is Kobe Jones, who was like the American, legend, Galaxy legend. And then you had Sean Franklin, who's been popping up here and there, like with Galaxy stuff, which I very much enjoy. I want to see him more in like an ambassadorial role or something within the organization. Like Sean Franklin is a good dude. Like every time I've spoken with him, I've really enjoyed like talking to that guy.
I texted him. I'm gonna name drop. I texted him right after that thing and was like, why didn't Alan Hopkins ask my fucking question?
Did he reply to you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Sean's a good fucking dude, man.
He's like, I don't know, man.
No, he was like, I'm not gonna blow a spot up. Never mind. I'm not gonna blow a spot up. Just in case people saw my question, I'm not trying to put him in that. But yeah, it was overall. I thought, I get what they're doing. I get what they're doing, and it's nice to see them flesh out the conversation. And that's all that was going on. It wasn't about seismic change. It wasn't about it wasn't about the current protests. It wasn't about any of that stuff. It was, in my opinion, it was trying to get your, '07 Beckham soccer moms to understand, with friendly faces, to understand, hey man,
this is what happened.
This shit's fucked up sometimes.
Like, oh yeah, I mean, if you hear some of this, if you go back, I'm hoping they still have it on the site. But if you go back and listen to some of the stories that they were talking about, man, it's like, it's stories you hear from like people that if you have like black friends, like this shit happens all the time. Like people have stories like this. I'm like, I've never heard the stories where like Kobe Jones is like, yeah, I've had guns pointed at me, and like the dude next to me who's like a white dude is like screaming at the cops, like joking with them, like instigating them, and Kobe's like, point the gun at him, don't point it at me.
That is my story in the truck with Travis Johnson. See, I heard it and I was like, that's the same fucking thing. White folks just yell at police officers. It's crazy.
But I enjoyed it. It was a conversation about like what it is and what it's like to be, a black dude in this country, and
in the soccer world.
In the soccer world, like because you have to make it in that sphere, right, of the soccer related world. And I enjoyed hearing like they're not saying, hey, what can we do to change the world? It's like, well, what can we do to like help bring like some of the awareness to the organization, or what can we do like because you have to start small, right, and you can change the world that way.
I mean, you've had some time.
Yeah.
It's fair to say, you guys, not you, obviously, but it's fair to say, you've had time to work on the solution. 2020, we're all getting started again. That's okay. Live aloha. We're all trying to figure it out. But yeah, we're well behind the curve, man. We're well behind the fucking curve. And I think part of the problem, like why would the Galaxy even need to do this? You know what I mean? Like in the way it should work, the Galaxy shouldn't need to have put that on. It's great. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not, But why do you need to do it? Like, where do you need to have that conversation? Because there aren't really vocal black voices in the organization today. Mm-hmm. That's why you got to bring back a defender who's been gone for what, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years? Jesus, might be 7 years. Like, you have the voice announcer, you have Kobe's voice announcer. Yeah, legend, absolutely. Scott Thompson, nobody but me knows that dude. And I had nothing but respect and love for Scott Thompson. Like, you're a G.
Oh man, I loved his part in.
He was probably the best.
Yeah,
by far the most interesting. Kobe referencing Josh Gardner and Alan Gordon, which was like, Josh Gardner, fuck man, the names. But why would you need to do that? You don't have loud vocal black voices in the organization today. It's a billionaire boys club. Everybody knows it. It's a worst kept secret. You want actual change for loud voices in the organization? A simple solution. Create a program where you take people of color, ex-players, that are interested in coaching, specifically interested in coaching. We talked about this the other week. Specifically interested in coaching. Get them as an assistant coach on G2. Get them something on their resume. Get them an opportunity to learn the game from a tactical side. And obviously they're tactical the entire time playing, but sitting back, hands off. Not a matter of whether you can beat your man or whether you can make that pass, but tactically setting up teams, working with coach day in, day out, going over tape, talking to players, grabbing players by the side, man management. Yep. There's your spot. And at a minimum, if you're a G2 assistant coach for a year, 2 years, 3 years, you can't get a USL2 job and work your way up? Work your way through the organization? Nah, but Pete Vianis needs to be general manager. Jovan Krosky needs to be technical director. We find spots. We find spots real easy. We keep finding them. It was Ben's point. If do you want to, I don't want to steal it from you. It's beautiful.
No, you can steal it from me. I mean, I was just thinking that how Galaxy was it that, on the same day that they announced Juninho and Sarvis as new academy coaches, they have this forum, and Sean Franklin's in there talking about how
he's talking about trying to get back in the game.
How he'd like to get back in the game and coaching, and
like living local, talking about getting back in, and it's I like it, man. I and it's nothing against Junie, it's nothing against Sarvas. I love both those guys. Nothing against Cienfuegos, nothing against Hartman. Everyone, get your money. If the check is on the table, fucking sign that bitch. Get your money. Whatever is working, I'm for it. But you had to call him. You had to call Sean Franklin, who says in the thing, he's like, I ain't working right now.
Yep.
You can't be an assistant coach to the G2 manager neither two of you can name who do a Galaxy podcast, and I can't name him. And I can name fucking everybody.
You know Scott Thompson was.
I know Scott goddamn Thompson. But I couldn't, I'm with you. And you know what, you're right. I didn't think about it in the moment. But
yeah, that's a great
Sean
point.
Sean Franklin is basically
Maybe
giving an interview for getting back in the organization. And while they're holding a town hall about there's not enough black coaches in Major League Soccer. And I'm like, well, I see one who got 1 day. I see Scott Thompson, who spends the rest of his time talking about how he needed to make moves outside of Major League Soccer and outside of the U.S. soccer system to be able to support his family. Because we weren't the end of Scott Thompson's career. He went to Portland, very successful, played for a long time. But when he left Portland, he needed to figure that shit out on his own. And then you got Sean Franklin, who's currently unemployed. They keep bringing up the fact that he just had a baby. So they know he's got a fucking baby.
Yeah.
They know he's got
Who's turning 1 in 2 weeks.
Yeah, they know he's got a. And the guy's like, hey, man, look, bottom line, he goes, I made some money in Major League Soccer. And Sean will tell you, he made some money in Major League Soccer. There's no generational wealth on the Franklin last name. It doesn't work that way. If you actually want change, and I'll be honest, man, I don't think they do. I genuinely don't. I tell you, man, if Pavon's wife, Pavon's old lady, said what Katai's old lady said, he would not be gone. If Hernandez's wife said what Katai's wife said, he would not be gone. The fact that Katai was a lukewarm player at best and an international and cost a lot of money is the reason that in part where the Galaxy are like, yeah, you can go. You want actual change? You want real hard change? Here's a spot where we give, it doesn't have to be black. I would prefer it be black because there's not a lot of black voices in the Galaxy, but let's say hypothetically it's black players. Sean, Mike Randolph, who currently coaches with kids, who does academy level work with kids. You want actual change? Hire somebody on. Cut somebody a check. Cut somebody some money. Let someone get experience. I imagine we'll see Robbie Keane as a G2 coach before
you talk about bringing former Galaxy players. I mean, you had Ezra as Siggy's head.
Robin Fraser. Robin Fraser was a first team coach in Major League Soccer. Kurt Anolfo gets a G2 job. Robin Fraser didn't get one. I don't know. They're both ex-players. I'm just saying you keep finding room, but in some cases you can't quite find room. I'm I'm not sure I understand the reason why. Give him the benefit of the doubt and say it's not a specific reason why. It's just one of those things that happens where the demographics are skewed in such a drastic way. I don't buy that. I don't buy that shit. But again, you have a history of leading me here.
So
I didn't just arrive here.
Where do you put the blame, Tucker, for that? Whose feet does that?
Everything falls at the head of the table. You're a man. You're a man and a father, and you run your house. You understand outside of things that your wife is made a decision for, which is somehow still your fault. Shit falls at your feet, man. My kids fuck up. That's on me. That's the way it works. It's at least the plan or the idea that I have. Klein could implement tomorrow. He could. I don't know whether he wants to or whether he thinks it's a good idea. He might. And look, him disagreeing and thinking it's a bad idea doesn't make him racist. Doesn't mean that he doesn't want to help people of color. He thinks my idea is bad. Okay, I'm cool with that. But let's do something that's actually tangible. Let's do something that, what was it? I think it was Scott Thompson, where he's like, let's not fake it. Let's not fake the funk. Like, there's not a lot of. I took it a little personal. He's like, there's not a lot of diehard Black Galaxy and soccer fans. Let's not pretend like there are, but let's make moves to develop them. Let's make moves to get them. And I heard it. I'm like, I'm not going to type anything else. I'm in enough trouble. I'm not trying to get kicked out of here. But I wanted to type in a thing like, we don't advertise to Black people fucking at all. We don't even try to. We've moved on.
Well, I think they kind of proved that point too when they had their extra like videos that they were made with like the Black Arrow FC.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they made videos of like the kid who's a skateboarder and is like, have you ever been to a Galaxy game? And so they literally asked like all these people that they put on like there's the woman who's the rapper, and they're like, have you ever been to a Galaxy game? No. I'm like, okay, well then they would take him to the Galaxy game, or like the kid who was a skateboarder. You ever been to a Galaxy game? No.
Yeah.
It was like you want to say why aren't there more Black fans, or you're not.
If I didn't get forced to come to a game, I think on a bet I lost. I think that's why I had to go to a Galaxy game. If I didn't get fucking dragged to a Galaxy game, who's your most notable Black Galaxy fan? I default to Jonathan Sykes. I can't lie. I spent a whole lot of time on ACB in a few years, but back in the way back, it would have been Jonathan Sykes. It'd be Rob the Bruce, a dude you probably the average lay fan probably doesn't know. You've probably seen a few times if you frequent around the Riot Squad section. You've probably seen a couple times, but that's it. We don't appear interested as an organization. I think my idea works. My idea is going to cost you some money, so that may not happen. I get it. But it's more than lip service. It's more than jaw jacking. It's more than, hey, we need to, quote, we need to figure out how we're gonna help Black players and no. Talk is fine, man. But it's whoop-de-woo. Let's move. You want to do something? There you go. Make Sean Franklin an assistant somewhere. Get him in an academy somewhere. He doesn't know fundamentals. He's played nothing but U.S. soccer his entire career. His entire career. He played Major League Soccer his entire career. He played U.S. college soccer. Like, he is as American as they come. If you actually want to do something. If you don't, it's cool. We just need to stop talking about it.
Mm.
But the players in the thing, they're like, they talk about it. They go, what it's like growing up as a Black player playing soccer in America. And they're, Kobe's like, hey, I had racist coaches. It's impossible to not have racist. He goes, I had racist coaches all the way up and down my career. He goes, you can't have 164 caps with the men's national team and never hear an N-bomb. That's by players presumably you all idolize, you all love. Like, Kobe's been around the game for a while, playing with legends for the U.S. men's national team, playing with legends. And I hope he never had a racist coach here. I hope he didn't. They talk about the positioning of Black players. Sean Franklin was like, I didn't know this about him. Sean Franklin's like, I started out as a forward. That explains that goal, that certified banger. He's like, I started out as a forward. He goes, and you start out as a forward, and then they move you to midfield, and then you start getting tall, and you start putting some muscle in, and move you to center back, and they move you out wide. He goes, at least once I got out wide, like, that's where they kept me.
Well, I mean, isn't that like for a long time, like that was the American player? Like, you're big and strong, you're center back.
Yeah, but like looking just at coaches for the Galaxy who coached Sean Franklin. Bruce Arena played him center back, moved him to right back. Brandon McDonald told Bruce Arena over and over and over again, I'm a defensive midfielder. He played him at center back. Mike Randolph said, I'm a left winger. He played him at left back. You run. Your job's to run. Be strong and run. Fuck that. I'm not calling Bruce Arena racist. I'm just saying. Mike, you can't call, but I'll text him right now if you want. Mike Randolph will tell you. He wasn't a left back, he's a left winger. But then you look at that situation and you go, where was the biggest deficiency in Mike Randolph's game? If you can remember, if you recall.
There is none.
His defense. There's none. He's a hell of a drinker.
Yeah.
His defense. Like, defensively, he was weak. He run his ass off. He's Emma Boateng. He's a little racist, but he's like Emma Boateng. He run his fucking ass off. But defensively, he was weak. It wasn't his game. It makes sense. He's a left winger. He's not a left back. You want to run overlaps, and he's fast as fuck. So you put him at left back. That doesn't make him a defender. Like, Brandon McDonald had in his opinion, had positional awareness to play defensive midfield and center mid. Bruce looked at a body, put him at center back. I'm not saying it's racist. Sounds racist to me, but I'm not saying it's racist. You know.
But that's what I'm saying. That comes down to like the system, right? Again,
but the system is literally what we have a problem with.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that was the system. Is like, hey, you're big, you're strong. All right, we're gonna move you in the back, center back.
My son is less than 2 years old. I can't tell you how many times people tell me he's going to play center back. And it's fucking infuriating. Every person that's ever said that to me, and if you have said that to me and you're just now realizing it, I looked you in the eye and I may have smiled. I wanted to rip your fucking head off. I do. Why the fuck should my son be a center back?
I've always said goalie, man.
Number 10. Why can't he be creative? Why can't he be intelligent?
You can be like a 7'3" creative player.
Hell yeah.
That's gonna be fun
Say
to
something.
watch. That'd be
Say
fun to watch.
something. What'd you go do? Built like a Gucci Onyewu playing 10 for America. What you gonna do?
He's gonna play for Belize.
He should play for Belize. He's gonna play for fucking. At this point, he's gonna play for Canada. Halifax national team. Yeah, it's this shit. You know, and that's the thing. Like, and they talk about it during the show. Like, it is systemic. It's every coach you go, every organization you go to, every college you go to. That's the way it is. Or you say, fuck that. I say, fuck that.
Yeah, if you actually want to see some change, then you gotta change the system.
But it's hard to change a system when there are no black coaches. Like, when run back, we got Scalotto, Ziggy, Anolfo, Bruce, Kobe, technically. What's the kid's name? Okay, 50 years old. Ruud Gullit. Like, you're willing to go overseas before you'll just hire a black coach. And your priority shouldn't come into the equation saying, we got to get ourselves a black coach. But, I mean, Anolfo's hiring was need not apply. We know our dude going in. We hired Ziggy, whether we want to say it or not. And look, no one has told me that we hired Ziggy, but if you were paying any fucking attention at all when Kurt Anolfo got fired, we hired another dude that was one of the boys before we even got rid of the last guy who was one of the boys.
My dude was at every single G2 game.
He was scouting. Look at how Ziggy moved in the same way DTK moved when he got here. Straight to the academy. Straight to G2 games. Because that's where you can move without really getting noticed.
Yeah.
If you want to. But I mean, it's look at Bruce. Bruce was sitting in the box while Kobe was managing his game. I mean, it's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, Ruud Gullit was handpicked by Beckham. Or you can assume it would have been another one of the boys.
Or at least Beckham's dude.
It was Beckham's guy. Yeah, Beckham's guy. But it's like,
What was his name?
Ben will look him up.
Fuller.
Simon Fuller. And then before Gullit, it was Yallop. Like, you just keep going back, man, and it's the boys. But that's how you get Sean Franklin, Rookie of the Year, standout. And that's you know, my wife's getting sick of this phrase. That's black excellence right there. You just figured it out. But that's how you get Sean Franklin as a forward, Sean Franklin as a midfielder, Sean Franklin as a center back, Sean Franklin as a right back. It worked out for him, and I'm glad. But Mike Randolph, it didn't work out for. Brandon McDonald, it didn't work out for. There's a lot of people it doesn't fucking work out for because a coach goes, oh, Big Negro, put him in the back. And that's not what they say on camera, but they ain't always on camera. And Kobe and Scott and Sean all told me stories today about coaches when the camera's off. So I don't know why. I just know that shit keeps happening. And I'll tell you this, the next fucking person that tells me my son's going to center back, I'm decking you in the throat. I'm gonna punch you straight in the throat. I ain't gonna hit you in the eye. You're still gonna be able to go to work, but you won't be able to breathe for a few minutes. That's it. That seems fair to me. Let me take some brain cells. We'll call it good.
Just a quick, knee to the groin, probably.
Nah, I got a big ass hand. I'm gonna punch you straight in the neck. Next fucking person that tells me my son should play center back. I don't even know if my son's gonna play soccer, but you know what? If he does, he'll play wherever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, why can't he be like a fencing guy?
You can. You can be whatever. Hey, I want him to play chess. I want to play chess. You know why? Because I'm tired of people telling me he's gonna play football, and it's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna sound crazy that someone would say it. I hear that shit all the fucking time. That my son's gonna play football. Fuck you. My son's gonna be a neurosurgeon. And when he's you know what? When he's got your shit opened up, I'm gonna piss inside the hole. That's what you get. And I'm gonna spike a football inside you. You fucking dick. I really hope that girl Joe isn't like, yo, you guys should listen to this. I'm on this podcast this week.
Yeah, listen to especially the last 15 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
That's when they get really
good. It just pisses me off, man, and it's constant.
Well, yeah, I mean
that's
that's the stuff like that where it's just like any stereotype, anything like your kid kicks a ball once, she's like, oh yeah, he should play soccer because he's Mexican and kicks a ball. Like,
but I don't get
shit.
My son kicks a ball every single day. Every day. And I love it. It beats my heart. My son kicks a ball every single day. Let him pick it up for a second. Someone will be like, oh, he's going little basketball player. Like, I don't even fucking watch basketball, man. Yeah, I fuck with the Lakers, but yeah, that's about it. It's not really, I'll watch it. It's not really my game. I can get into it. Playoffs. Catch me at playoffs. Then we're like, oh, are you hoping he'll play basketball or football? I'm like, we're actually a hockey family, you fucking racist. Like, my son's going to be a two-way defender. How about that? He's going to be a solid blue line defender.
Catch him in between the crease, though, man. He's going to be your next in goalie.
Like, God, man.
Darnell Nurse, baby.
Kid's got no 5-hole.
He's going to have paws like a fucking,
Grand
lion.
Pure.
It's like Willie O'Ree. How about that? Black goalkeeper.
Boston Bruins.
Do you know Willie O'Ree? Boston.
Oh, man. He must have had a good time in Boston.
Oh, no. Nobody does.
Yeah.
Boston is last, I believe, and I could be wrong. Somebody in YouTube correct me if I'm wrong about this. Boston was last in almost every major sport for integrating a black player into the leagues, into their team, except in hockey of all sports. Willie O'Ree was brought up for 3 games, sent right back down to the minors. One of the few stories where a brother broke the color barrier and it didn't completely change the game. They called him up out of necessity for 3 days and sent him back to the minors. A big San Diego Gull, if San Diego Gulls represent that dude pretty often. But yeah, it's always fucking basketball, man. It's always fucking football, and it's regular.
What if he's like an amazing bowler? You don't put him in a box.
Yeah, why not? Why does he have to play sports? Maybe my eldest son doesn't like sports at all. Maybe he doesn't like sports at all.
Yeah,
my dad doesn't like sports. My brother, my dad blocked all the sports channels on his cable, so he didn't even have to click past them when he was looking for shit to watch. My dad despises sports. He's bigger than me. How many times do you think my dad got like, oh, did you play football in high school?
Or how many times he saw you or your brother and be like, oh, they're going to play football?
Yeah, well, he wasn't really around us during that time. So not much of an issue.
Sorry.
This is only a problem because I see Damien every day.
Well, yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to rehash them.
Right back into it, Ed.
I didn't want to reopen some wounds, man. I'm sorry, dude.
Rip that. Nah, me and my dad are fine. We're good. We're good now, man. I'm only worried about today's. I'm not. You can't. If it's possible, you can't focus too much on the.
You can't change yesterday, man.
Shit. Nah, it's just gone, man. My job is to be here for Damien. I can't worry. I can't. This is where it goes. I can't worry about.
Well, you got to worry about his football career.
Nah, fuck you. Oh, Ed. I can't worry about Vernon's fuck ups. Vernon's fuck ups ain't my business no more. People in your past that hurt you. I'm not saying it shouldn't affect you and all that. But the people in your past that hurt you or did you wrong, there's only so much time you can give them.
Yeah, and you gotta use that shit and just grow, man. You can't let it drag you down.
At some point, yeah, that's it. At some point they just slow you down. At some point they're just keeping you from being you. And what I am fucking Damian James Tucker's father. And
future father to a Hall of Famer.
Future, yeah. God, I hope so. I don't even care the sport. Whatever makes him happy. Whatever he's
Future
into.
father to a Nobel Peace Prize winner.
My Lord. That made my grandfather so happy. My grandfather would be he'd be over the moon. Way more than any sports career. He didn't care about that. It's cathartic, man. It's another good,
Another good show, man.
Yeah, I feel like we hit a rough patch for a while, but at the end of the day,
Well, those episodes that Ben was all messing up on,
pro hacky sack player.
There you go.
We appreciate whoever called in and left a voicemail. Is how long is it?
That's not long. We can listen to it.
Play it. Real
Yeah,
quick.
we'll get out on the voicemail.
All right, give me 1 second.
Pro frisbee golf player.
Ultimate frisbee. I'm down with that.
Here we go. All right, my bad.
Wishing Ben a happy Canada Day.
Oh,
I want to
there we
open this by wishing Ben a happy Canada Day. You may have only
You wanna
been
start it
here
over a
for
little
3
louder?
years.
The whole thing's
We'll
kind of
still
messed
take the
up
blame
with the
for you.
Google Voice.
I know I've been catching a lot of strays when you guys throw Canada under the bus because of Ben, but he's still one of us. And you can come home anytime. Now might be that moment when
I can hear him at all, so
and
it's okay.
Stop both.
And the Rona's coming.
Please
And we're at
pause
like
that.
under 300 cases for the entire country. So I've just put it out there.
That's
We
as
still
loud
have
as
the
it
free
gets.
health care. We'll
That's
take
okay.
you back. We'll take you back. Just wanted a quick call about actually the tournament. And I'm curious as to what you guys think. Does it actually play the final? I mean, we've all seen what the cases look like in Florida. That place is a disaster. Once again, never elect a dude named Ron. I feel like we don't need to say this, but again, Florida. But does it happen? And if it does, like over under, how many dudes end up in hospital? Like how many guys in the training staff, coaching staff, just the support staff, right? Because this bubble's bullshit. The bubble is there for the players. The players stay there. They can't leave. They can't go anywhere. I mean, maybe they get to go to Epcot. But everyone who cleans their rooms, cooks their food, drives in places, goes home at night. So the bubble is bullshit. So what do we think the over-under is? Do they play it? And how many people get injured? Anyways, boys, have a good one. Cheese up.
Did we get a name on that, Ben?
I didn't see a name. I didn't hear a name, rather.
No, and I didn't read
Well, it has
one
to be
in there.
Canadian because they're.
Yeah, I called from
Is it?
Your home
From
and native
Toronto.
land?
Yes.
It's from Toronto? Oh, fucking war room. Hockey.
I'm trying to remember. I'm so sorry. My brain is fried from school and stuff, so I'm like trying to remember names. And he's gonna talk shit to me because I know who it is, and I just can't remember his name.
What are you talking about?
The caller.
Oh, he told you he was going to call?
No. I know who it is.
Oh,
Dan.
Toronto Dan.
Yeah.
yeah.
The Dan that's not the Guangguan.
Yes.
That's how
Toronto
it's-
Dan.
Other day.
That's how it's in my
Sorry,
head.
Dan. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Anyways, over under. I mean, yeah, exactly. What he said. The bubble's bullshit. Exactly what he said. The workers, all the people who are cleaning the room, all the people
Everyone
who are
else
cooking the
goes home.
food. Huh?
Everyone else is going home.
Yeah.
Everyone who's helping them is going home.
Yeah.
The over under on how many, what was it? Whether the final gets played, and also whether the final
Gotta
gets
get
played,
murdered.
and also how many people I guess get sick, end up in the hospital. Right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
The final's getting played. I think what would be over under of the cases that come out that are positive?
Okay, well you're at 10 now,
Yeah.
and most of the people haven't shown up yet.
Yeah.
And you could sit in a bar. Well, today I guess it's ending tonight. You could sit in a bar earlier today.
The Galaxy players. Oh yeah, because they're all going into.
No, they should have been. They should have been in quarantine. They should have been in quarantine for what, 2 weeks on Friday, right?
Were they?
No. I mean, I don't believe so. Not that anything I've seen shows them in quarantine.
I bet you go on like the players' Instagrams and they're all out
Oh,
like,
right
doing
now?
Oh, yeah.
shit. Well, Zubac
well-
likes to. He don't care about the COVID. So
Jesus is protecting him. So.
yeah, him and Kai Koruniak. So we'll see how that goes.
Zubac was golfing today with his missus. That's one down. Anyway, I'm not going Instagram by Instagram.
No, let's see. We got another hour, right?
Well, Ben looks like he's getting ready to pass out. I mean, to the question,
Well, that's just the diabetes, man. You know, he gets the blood sugar up.
I mean, do either of you? What do you think? What do you think, Ben? This is your moment.
Dude, over under people actually testing positive, it's going to be high, man. Think about it.
50?
You have 20 teams, 30 players per team. Yeah, 600 players,
Not counting staff.
not counting staff. I mean, what, another? Damn. So how many total? 800 total people there. Say maybe.
I think it's like at least 640 players, something like that. Like,
Well, he's counting the staffing.
I know, but I'm just players alone. It's like 640 players.
So you're
something
looking like, okay, so let's just roughly say 1,000 people. 1,000 people from MLS. You're gonna have
because plus all the camera operators, all the behind the scene people of the stadiums, all that stuff.
man. You're gonna have like 300 people test positive out of this. Now the question is, what happens after that? You know, I mean, how many people are going to test positive? Say if only 280 of them test positive while they're quarantined while they're there, they get over it completely in Florida, but you have that other 20 that are going to bring it home to somebody else, who's going to give it to somebody else, who's going to give it to somebody else, all over the country.
The answer to the question by itself is why they shouldn't be going. If you have to ask whether we're even going to play a final in 6 weeks, what is the fucking point of going? Like, if the question is, and we're going to end on a downer, which sucks. If the question is, how many people are going to get hospitalized for non-sports injuries? Because look, these guys can get hospitalized every week playing Major League Soccer, full stadiums. The world isn't burned down. You can get a bad tackle and end up in a hospital. We're saying, how many people are we willing to accept are going to need to be hospitalized before the fucking thing starts?
Maybe Jonah got the COVID. He got the Rona. Maybe that's why they're just covering it up. That's your conspiracy theory.
Mine isn't a conspiracy theory. Mine is following breadcrumbs. But it's not a conspiracy theory. I don't know. Look, I'm just saying. Because first off, on this show, conspiracy theories are your thing.
If Alex Jones is telling you you're a conspiracy theory,
but
I mean, they're actors. Come on, man.
Don't start this. If don't
They're-
start
they're-
this.
they're
Don't,
little
no,
people,
no, 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 no.
okay?
You
And
see
they're
what I
like-
mean? This is what I was talking to you about. If we have to ask,
You saw the one lady at 3 different sites, man. I mean, come on.
I saw her the next week. If the question we're being forced to answer going in is how many people are we accepting going in to a hospital on account of this? Like, it shouldn't fucking happen, man. It's gross. Hopefully it's none. Hopefully it's 0. They're all in
you gotta
really
hope
great
it's 0,
shape.
yeah.
They're all in great shape in the prime of their life for the majority of them. Hopefully it's none. It'll probably be some, and it's fucking disgusting. It's all fucking disgusting.
Guessman brought up that, like, what if a guy like Bruce gets it? I mean, dude's old.
Who cares?
You
Nobody
know?
cares. Nobody cares, man. Chicha! That's all that matters.
No, it's all about that TV money,
That's all that
dude.
matters, man.
Yeah.
It's all about the TV money.
It's wrong, man. And it's one of those, like, it's clearly fucking wrong. And there has to be something in any person listening to this that's like, yeah, it's wrong. And again, be cool if you think it's wrong and you're gassed up for it anyway. You think it's wrong and you're excited for it anyway. I'm not telling you not to believe that, man. I'm asking you to take a second to think about whether you think it's wrong. That's it. I took a second to think about whether I thought it was wrong, and I think it's wrong. That's on you. That's on all of y'all. I don't think it should happen at all. And I can't answer the question because the very nature of the question reinforces that it shouldn't be fucking happening at all.
No, I think we agree on that, man. It's just, and you see the spike in the cases before a ball's even kicked, man, and even touched. It's just, it don't need to happen. It doesn't need to happen. There's the only reason it's happening is to fill the pockets of MLS executives and whatever. They have to live with that. And I guess the players who contract this virus because they're told, hey, you have to go play this.
There's a real conversation going on amongst Premier League fans and Championship Club fans right now. For people who, you care about the Galaxy a little bit, but really your focus is Europe. There's a real conversation going on right now about how, I think it was 10 games when the season stopped. 10 games of not playing on television. 10 games of not receiving advertising dollars is making clubs go bankrupt. There is a serious issue with the sustainability of soccer. If missing 10 games at the end of your season is going to fucking tank your club. You need to be asking questions about the people spending money at your organization if 10 games is going to fucking tank your entire setup. Major League Soccer losing out on a season of revenue, I can understand that. I can understand him saying, we got to relook at this. But you missed 10 games? FC Kaiserslautern is gone over 10 games? I don't know, man. This thing should be forcing much larger questions than I think are being discussed. I think a lot of it's getting hidden under, George Floyd protests and Black Lives Matter protests and all this other. But like this should, if you're looking at it specifically through the prism of a soccer fan, this should be forcing you to ask drastically larger questions about what's going on. That it's, and not just the Galaxy, but the soccer fan as a whole. That it's all so delicately poised that missing out on advertisement revenue for a year destroys the whole system. In England and Europe, missing out on 10 games of advertising revenue destroys the whole system. Like, it's unhealthy. It's not sustainable. It's the beauty of the MLS market.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what the spending, in Europe has been going crazy for a decade now. I mean, it keeps getting worse and worse. It's the millions and millions of dollars, billions of dollars that it spend.
Every window.
Yeah.
Every window like it's nothing.
Yeah.
From teams who aren't making anywhere near it. So, I mean, that's that. We should fucking.
On that note, play the upbeat music.
Sorry, everyone. Sorry, everybody.
Before we head out, anything else before we get out of here, guys?
No, I want, big ups to Andrew Melber, just signed up for our Patreon while we were recording, and it's top tier, and man,
that's because he's sexy.
Good Andrew. That's how you maintain it.
Amanda she's a lucky woman.
If you would like to join our Patreon as well, it's patreon.com/Riot Squadcast.
Yes, sir.
I'm currently working on my Galaxy UEFA 11. I'm going to start doing more scripted breakdowns on our Patreon. So I have my whole setup at home. We're going to start that this week. So keep an eye out for that. We're doing UEFA 11, CONCACAF 11, South America 11. Basically, I'm just going to start trying to bring this data into a more fun way for you.
And if you want to follow us on social medias or anything, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Go to all those sites. Just search Riot Squadcast. Make sure you're liking us. Make sure you're sharing our posts, especially when we post the episodes up. We really appreciate that stuff. If you're watching us live here on YouTube, youtube.com/Riot Squadcast. We're here every week on YouTube Live. If you want to get on the conversation, we have the chat's lit, as the kids say.
Wow,
it's fire, as the kids would say, right? That's what it's saying.
I can't sign up. I can't sign up for any. I genuinely don't know what that
Our
means.
chat's got drip.
Yes.
But Brian Jordan watching us on Facebook.
Brian Jordan watching us on Facebook.
Brian Jordan recorded a video for Barcelona this week.
Big shout out to Brian Jordan and also to Rolf Felcher. So if you want to go check out Barcelona Twitter, it's LARSCELONA, Barcelona. Go check us out. Benjamin, where can they find you on social medias?
You can find me at DT Radio Ben or Old Man Ben 3.
Have you already given up on that?
Which one do you use less?
Old Man Ben 3.
Really? Okay.
Tucker, where can they find you on the socials, man?
At ZeroCool138 on Twitter and Instagram, and that's pretty much it at this point.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram at EdTheZombie13. Email us, show@RiotSquadcast.com. Send us a voicemail like you heard today, 562-641-5277. We'd love to hear from you guys. We'll see you guys next week. We love you. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Bye.
Bye.
Fuck you, Brian. Suck a dick, bitch. Woo!